getting offended.
TGG. This was the phrase we thought of.
Legal counsel advised us to replace what was supposed to go here.
TGG. It isn't funny until someone gets hurt.
There's bugs in my skin. You're responsible for me. I'm getting offended. I'm a big fat gamer.
TGG. The voices are normal, and you should listen to them.
TGG. I'm getting offended.
TGG. This was the phrase we thought of.
Hello. What is up, everybody? It's me, your favorite son, here with episode 9 of TGG Plus. Of course, as always, joined by my co-host, Evan Prince. And this time, we are joined by our lovely guest, high-functioning medium. Thank you for coming on the show.
Howdy. Yeah,
No one
thanks
has
for having me.
managed to stop us yet, so we just keep doing it.
Yeah, we thought it would have happened by now, but, you know,
Yeah.
is what it is.
I can't keep letting you get away with this.
But we're here today with another abnormal-ish episode. We're going to be taking a look at Summer Games Fest. It literally just ended mere moments ago. So we will be going back through the show, talking about the big reveals, the big stuff that was shown, and hopefully skipping over most of the junk, so you don't have to see that stuff because it's crap, and we already know it's going to be crap. We're your filter for the game news of the world, if you will.
Shout out to all the indie devs who poured their hearts out into the games we're going to call crap and skip.
Just to have me call it crap. By the way, are you drinking water out of a champagne flute right now? Is that what's going on over there?
This is sparkling water out of a champagne.
So even
It's glass,
even
so
fancier, even better.
yeah, it sparkles, so I can do it.
Very nice.
Cheers.
So the
Nice mug.
Thank you.
I was talking to him.
Oh wow. Okay. So I don't have a nice mug. Whatever. So me and Evan have both seen most of the showcase. I stopped watching about a half an hour ago to get this set up. So that ending bit is going to be new, but we did go through. So we're going to go back through it and take a look at some of the big stuff. Oh, that looks fucked up. Hold on.
There's your thumbnail right there.
I will
Just
say,
saying.
I'm gonna go ahead and get out ahead of this and say this was the first time in my entire life I've actually seen what Sid Meier's looks like.
Me too.
Right.
Me too.
Yeah,
he's
he
an
was-
eccentric little man.
Yeah, he was just there. I was like, "Is that the Sid Meier's, bro? I loved your work on Pirates."
Okay, so wait, why is this unmute? There we go. Okay, so I have some notes. I think obviously well, I guess maybe we should just say first, what do you think what was your highlight, Evan, of the showcase?
I had a couple of things that stood out to me. Obviously, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero.
Yeah, I should have guessed that would be yours.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's probably not the highlight of it, but being a Dragon Ball fan, that game looks pretty dope. There was this one game called Delta Force that looked really sick. It was just very like
game?
The what?
It was the free to play.
No, I don't think it was free to play. It was like it was like an extraction multiplayer shooter, but it had like a story mode based on Black Hawk Down.
Yes.
It was it was realistic, not realistic, but like attempting to be realistic graphics and taking itself really seriously. Just a really old school throwback military shooter. Looks like something I would have seen releasing on the Xbox 360 in 2009. So I was very interested in that. Mecha Break looked like a fun time for a couple of days, and then I would get tired of it. But really, Slitterhead has the most of my interest, I think.
Yeah, Slitterhead
Because it's
looks
just
cool.
so bizarre, super interesting. And I know that the original, I think it was the original creative director of Silent Hill 1 and 2 is doing it.
Yeah.
I'm right on that, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
So.
There was. I actually think there was a lot of stuff that looked cool at this. Obviously, Alan Wake was a big standout for me. I think that looks cool, and I'm excited that drops tomorrow. So that was certainly a surprise. But let's get into it. Let's go through it and see some of the stuff. I want to kind of point out. So people were pretty critical last. I think it was the Game Awards, or it was. Maybe it was last Summer Games Fest or something. They were pretty critical of Keighley for not making light of what's been going on in the games industry with layoffs and stuff like that. And he sort of opened the show with this this big, what's happening in the games industry is really bad right now because the studios are getting shut down, people are losing their jobs, and he also showcased the fact that most of the industry is greatly changing because most of the top 10 Steam games of this year have been indie titles or literally just solo developed titles. So I thought that was pretty cool, and I kind of just wanted to put a spotlight on that for a second because I think that's important for something this size to recognize something like that instead of just being AAA games are great, man.
Yeah, that is good on him. Somebody, well, I mean, somebody needs to acknowledge what's going on with the industry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I thought that was interesting, and I thought it was good to spotlight indie games. But then the first game that they show is fucking Lego Horizon.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that was real. I thought I was being messed with at first.
Yeah, it does kind of seem like you're getting punked when you're watching this. It's like a guy in a hot dog costume, and then he pops into the Horizon world and then it's Horizon Lego. Have either
Is there
of
an
you,
audience for that?
Have either of you played Horizon?
I played the first one.
Okay.
I can say I gave my all to get through that one.
You didn't care for it.
I didn't dislike it really. The only thing I thought was sort of unimpressive that thought I probably would like more because it's something that the inspiration Far Cry 3 doesn't have as much of, which is like all that cinematic, stuff. But it really just sort of came off as like a Bethesda-y talking heads back and forth, and there's so much of it was skippable.
Yeah.
And the world was really pretty. I don't know. There's a point at which something can be so contrived. It's hard to really invest yourself in and go, I mean, everything's so cool. It's not as cool anymore, which is not something you think you should ever be allowed to say about robot dinosaurs
Yeah.
and shooting with bows and arrows and things like that. But yeah, that was not a bad one. I mean, Lance Wright did a pretty good job in that to legitimize the story and everything, but that was a tough one to get through.
Yeah.
Or really to remember, I think.
Yeah, it gets it gets so lost. It's so I feel like what is the thing, like people always talk about this game in that like they don't know who's playing it. Like people have like it started to become like a meme at this point of like people saying it's a money laundering scheme or something because it's making so much money and it's like generating so much buzz, but like it feels like nobody's talking about it,
Yeah, I finally heard the greatest description of that was that it's the avatar of video games.
Yes.
It blows through, like it's so beautiful, and like you can't really say it's like you hate it, but it's not like something you're ever like, oh dude, have you seen the new Avatar? Right, and people like instantly know what water cooler moment you're talking about. They're sort of like, it's very vague. Yeah, it's like I just like the whole thing, man. It's just so pretty.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Sweet. It's kind of interesting because the fact that it booted up and I'm immediately the first thing we saw is the Gorilla logo did catch me off guard because I've been going through the Killzone games, so I've been seeing that logo a lot recently. In fact, like even just an hour or two before the awards, I was playing Killzone 3. And so I thought my brain was like malfunctioning for a second when I saw the Gorilla logo, and then I remembered I was like, oh yeah, they did Horizon, and I did play some of the original Horizon Zero Dawn, and I thought it was super boring and uninspired. And now after having played Killzone 2 and 3, I don't understand how that happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because Killzone 2 fucking rocks. And 3 so far is great. And I don't know what happened to make Horizon such a fucking slog.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's appealing to, like, because this game definitely appeals to, like, the open world, sort of, like, node collector kind of thing. And in, like, the best, and that's like most Sony games at this point, like most Sony first party games are the same, mostly the same template. And I think I don't know. I think maybe people just like consume that like slop, and we're just not with it.
Yeah, like Far Cry 6. I think the best thing about Horizon Zero Dawn was that it gave Death Stranding a decent engine to work with.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, nice. Is that a real thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, Death Stranding is made on
cool.
the Decima engine.
Yeah.
Isn't Killzone Liberation a snorefest? I mean, it's not great, but it's also a fucking twin stick shooter for the PSP. What do you want? It came out in 2006.
Okay, so that was the first thing was Horizon, Lego Horizon, which I think was already announced, but we just hadn't seen anything from it.
Yeah. There was a tweet a while back that just had like a laundry list of all the Horizon properties. I remember that being in there.
Like a Horizon show they're developing, and then this Lego thing. But and then the next game was called No More Room in Hell 2. It's being developed by the Chivalry devs, and I think it was based on a mod for something. I'm not sure. I forgot to write that part down, but it was like a mod for like Half-Life 2 or something like that.
Yeah, let me look that up.
But it was very like seems like kind of like an online kind of big map survival sort of thing. Didn't seem like there was anything too super interesting. I'm sure there's a fan base of the mods or the mod out there that would love this, and I'm sure it's for somebody. Wasn't really for me. And then after that, fucking way out of left field, new Quidditch game.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Which I was like, what the hell is going on here? I actually feel like I'm just going to keep this muted the whole time because I did notice a shit ton of copyrighted music that they used in this.
Yeah,
So
I would
maybe,
keep it muted.
yeah,
if I
don't
were
want
you.
to do that. But yeah, new Quidditch game. I thought this was just going to be a remake of that Quidditch World Cup game they made on PS2. Did you guys ever play that?
No, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Really? Damn, dude, I played that game so much. It was made by EA Sports. Like
You're you're a Harry Potter fan, or?
No, I don't like Harry Potter now. I loved it when I was a kid, but that game was great. Like it was, I don't know, it was just super addicting. I have reviewed it on my channel because in the early days I was doing
The box.
I was doing the box video where I reviewed every PS2 game in this old box of PS2 games that my dad gave me, and that was one of the games, and I played it, and it was pretty good. But yeah, I would assume it's going to be something like that. New Quidditch game, but I'm probably not going to play it. I don't really like Harry Potter, so.
Yeah, I was watching that. What is it? No Room in Hell, No More Room in Hell 2, and I was like, man, what is he talking about? And it was like 8-player co-op, and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I can see where I might back off that one a little bit.
Yeah, because the trailer starts and it looks just like a horror game or something, and you're like, oh, okay, this is kind of whatever. But then yeah, it's like no big map, infinitely replayable map or whatever.
Oh God.
There's a lot of those though. But this game, Cuff Bust, developed by the guy that made Choo Choo Charlie or Choo Choo Charles, that horror train game.
Yeah.
It's like a multiplayer party game where you break out of prison or like backstab people that are trying to break out of prison. It looks kind of fun. It looks kind of cool. It's probably not something I would play personally.
I mean, that's like the kind of thing that like we would try to get a couple other creators just for like,
yeah,
a fun like one-off thing, but it doesn't look like something I would ever want to play. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, like kind of like consistently. Yeah, it's kind of cool. I like this guy. I actually watched an interview with him, and he was talking in depth about like how he made the Unreal Engine blueprint system work well for him, because Unreal 5 has like a blueprint system in it that's sort of like a I can't remember what they call it. There's like node. It's a node editor, so you can do everything in this node editor.
It's a visual editor. Yeah.
Yeah, visual editor, so that you don't have to use like scripting. And he does a lot of stuff in that. And he was like really pushing the idea that you can kind of do anything in the system to make it more accessible to people that want to make solo games. And he was talking about how he made this the rail system for that Choo Choo Charles game in that system. And I think that's pretty cool. I think that's a good effort. And he's probably like a bajillionaire at this point, having made like one game by himself, that was super viral and sold really well.
Choo Choo Charles did pretty well, huh?
I think so, right?
I would be surprised if it did crazy numbers, but it kind of doesn't make sense that it didn't if he's here just sort of like in the mix.
Yeah, I mean, he's
and not like earning his free indie spot or whatever that was.
Yeah.
I think it was streamers like made it pop off.
Yeah. That was a streamer TikTok game. But yeah, I mean, at this point, it's just like, I guess, make another fun party game and make another $2 million. It's pretty easy. But yeah, I don't think I'll play that realistically. Oh, this is your moment of the show, Evan. Star Wars Outlaws.
God, fucking spare me, dude.
Guys, there are no red flags with this game. Why are you so cynical? It's just Star Wars. I mean, when has Star Wars ever put out anything bad? I mean, let's be honest.
That's true.
Yeah,
it has
homie's
been
got the Star Wars mug.
Always quality.
Right. Even this mug, grade A.
Fuck's sake, dude. It looks fucking awful.
What I guess so. Medium. Do you?
Yes, sir.
Are you? Do you have any interest in this? I sense by your sarcasm that's a no.
I mean, I'm all for just like jumping on the train to just ride, all the cynicism train all the way home. But with all the overpriced editions and everything, part of me wants to go, well, Survivor and Fallen Order were pretty good. let's see if there's something that kind of looks adjacent to that, if it's got any promise. But this is something you literally have to get into it to see. Like, nothing you're going to be seeing for a game like this is going to be legitimately convincing you, other than just hype that you already had within you, just being played upon to play it. Like, there's nothing here that's going to prove to me that this is because it's Ubisoft, because it's licensed, and like all of that could be on rails that we just saw. Very easy. I can easily tell that just looks like straight shot gameplay.
Yeah,
that might look good one way through, and it might not even be terrible in a kind of a Hellblade-y kind of way. But that's not a $130 game, and especially not when these guys make it. I mean, we know how everything's iterative and, like you say, the node collector type stuff. Like it's like they've got to get that out of their system, or they don't feel like they've provided the value.
Yeah, it's
Even though we pay more to play fewer hours if they were good, they're like, let's do it the opposite way.
yeah.
I think it's the dialogue and the characterization that I've seen of the game has given me the way that the game is portraying itself is not something that I would be interested in. So if it isn't that, then they've been marketing it wrong. If it isn't what I think it is, then they've done a bad job marketing it. But I think they've done a good job marketing it as exactly what it is. It's that same kind of super self-aware, sassy, snarky. I don't know what you call it writing, but it's the same kind of writing that was in the Saints Row reboot.
Right. I mean, it's like millennial writing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
like
millennial,
that that TikTok sass that everything's got to be.
Yeah, TikTok sassy millennial writing from people who like never struggled a day in their life. Yeah, that's all I need to see. Like, the game could be good, it could be bad, but if the character is insufferable and constantly like subverting every genuine emotion throughout the game, then it's gonna suck for me.
Yeah, I think I have. I mean, that was why I kind of asked you guys what your opinions were, because I don't care about this at all. I don't like Star Wars. Hate Star Wars. Sick of hearing about it. Go away. But yeah, and it's like Ubisoft. I don't like their games either. So I'm just like,
There's nothing here for you here.
There's nothing for me. This game is not for me.
Desolation.
This game is about as for me as the cuff bust game right before it, the little party prison break game. Just about the same amount for me of interest as a solo party game for streamers. Yeah.
Well, it's interesting. This game is coming out, but there was a different Star Wars game being developed by Visceral Games, the Dead Space developers, called Star Wars Ragtag. That would have been similar to this, and they canceled that so that we could get this.
I remember that.
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Dude, I'm still sore about that. Was it Respawn that had that like 1313 game?
Yes.
This is like an Uncharted cover shooter looking
thing.
thing.
That was Respawn. That was something else. That was a different
Maybe not
developer.
Respawn.
I don't remember who it was, but that wasn't Amy Hennig involved in that too?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, she was involved in that, but
Gotcha.
she was involved in Ragtag with Respawn as well. Amy
Okay.
Hennig was
Nice.
like doing a lot of the writing and directing for Ragtag. 1313 was going to be like an Uncharted Star Wars game. That was
Yeah.
their pitch.
Mhm.
Yeah, that would have been cool. But we get this instead, so
Got to get them DEIs, I guess.
Jesus. And in the deep water here already.
Right. Drowning.
This game I actually thought looked pretty good. It's from the creator of Gris, if anybody played that. And it's just like it looks like a simple little, nice style, good design. This is my kind of game. This is my kind of game. I like this stuff, pretty, good art, cool, chill,
Yeah, I have to be really careful with games like these because my wish list balloons out like 30 extra strong just on all those platformers that I don't even care to play. I just want to like go left to right
Yeah.
and just watch everything go past. I'm like, man, this
Yeah.
looks good.
Yeah, I think this looks pretty cool. It's called was it Neva? Neva?
Yeah.
Neva Eva.
Never have I ever.
This-
The only note
This is
I
about-
wrote was looks great. I'll be playing that. So
I mean, it's got like that creature looks like the thing from Spirited Away a little bit. It has
Yeah.
that same like vibe.
The mask.
Yeah, but this game is as for me as the other two games are for you. I think.
Really? Yeah, I figured.
is not
I figured you wouldn't be into
No,
this.
there's not a fucking thing about this that appeals to me in any sense.
Yeah, I figured.
Don't like moving SA bait 2D side scrollers.
I actively dislike it. It's the look at that image alone. That's enough for me to know I'm not interested.
Dude, I'm
So
there.
serene though.
It's cute. It's
Fucking
cute,
essay
dude.
bait, man. That's a good way. I haven't heard that before. I don't know. Did you coin that or is that a real phrase? Essay bait.
Yeah, it felt right. It's not particularly original. It just seems like
It should
Yeah,
be.
that
like a-
feels
yeah.
right.
It's
I'm gonna start-
gamers version of Oscar bait, right?
I'm gonna start
Yeah.
calling games like this. I'm gonna start calling them essay bait. That's
Essay
what that
bait.
fucking is right there.
That's good.
yeah, it's like the game needs just enough negative space and just enough, emotion ringing for you to start going, you know what? I think I have an idea about what this means. And then 20 pages later, you're like, I mean, sure, probably.
And it ends on that image right there.
And I can't tell you're wrong because it's all up to interpretation. Nice.
Exactly.
I fucking hate that, dude.
Okay. And then the next one was the Civilization 7 trailer. I mean, first of all, I'm all about this. This is my kind of game. Love me some 4X. I will be putting 200 hours into this.
You're a
Easily.
fan of previous civs?
Yeah. I remember the night Civilization 5 came out. I think I had school the next day or something, and I stayed up and played it for like. I don't think I slept that night. I just played it all night, and then
Let's go.
went to probably didn't go to
I
school.
live for Civ.
No, I do like Civ. I mean, it's not my favorite series like out of these types of games, but it is like it's one of those ones where it's like I would imagine if you I can't even think of like a good example. I don't know. It's like the mainstream like one that like everybody's gonna come back and play that because it's good. Also, this trailer is
Yeah,
just
it's like the gold standard or whatever.
yeah. Also, this trailer is just like sick as hell with all these like stone.
Yes, super well done trailer.
Yeah,
Really,
it looks-
actually, very inspired.
It looked gorgeous, just moving through the ages. Really cool. So I'm excited.
I've never
for
played
that.
a Civilization game, but you're right. This trailer is actually like super good. This is stellar.
Yeah. That was leaked before the show as well, so I think most people knew that was coming, but coming 2025. Yeah, and then we also got Sid Meier face reveal.
Yeah, there he is.
Sid Meier face reveal, which was pretty cool. He took off the mask finally, which was
Well,
awesome.
damn.
Put on
What's he doing with those guys? With
But, like-
was it Fire Axis?
Yeah, Fire
Fire
Axis.
Axis. Everybody say that?
Yeah.
put like 45 hours into Pirates. No joke, that's real. I played a lot of that game as a kid. I had a PC copy. Sid Meier's Pirates.
Yes, Sid Meier's Pirates too. And then this was Wukong, Black Myth Wukong,
Yeah.
which
Yeah, I figured this would show up.
August 20th. It's coming out real soon. I think
Oh shit.
yeah, this has been in development for so long. I think I remember hearing about this like 3 or 4 years ago. I think it's a Chinese developer, if I'm correct, which is pretty rare. They don't make a lot of games because of the government. And the game looks pretty cool. Or maybe not because of the government. I don't know, actually. I don't know what... Maybe I shouldn't say anything.
good
'cause
question.
Yeah, I don't know what
Yeah,
the hell's
'cause
going
they-
on over there.
They sure, Tencent and all those guys sure own a lot of stuff, but you don't really hear a lot of buzz over there for creative output.
Yeah, Never Knows Best. All jokes aside, Never Knows Best did a video on like Chinese game developers a few years ago, and there's some pretty crazy shit that they be doing to indie developers. But this game looks cool. I think this is like I don't know. They didn't show like gameplay. I think they said that gameplay would be revealed later. I know they've already shown gameplay from it, but I can't remember what kind of game it is.
Yeah, I would probably point you to that thing they released like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
I think it looked better than what I'm seeing here, to be honest with you, because it's a lot more. It looks like it's more like a little bit over the shoulder kind of stuff, as opposed to just being like camera swoops through landscapes and things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this one looks pretty promising, to be honest. I think this might be one of the few games that can actually have enough to it where you're not just like, well, that looked nice.
Yeah.
Well, it's coming out.
It doesn't
soon.
look all smoke and mirrors, you know?
Yeah, it's I think it's mostly based on like Chinese mythology as well, which is like a cool.
Evan,
untapped
I'm
thing.
sure he probably already knows this, but it's based on the same myth that Dragon Ball is.
Oh, there
No,
you go.
I didn't actually know that. That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
Journey into the West.
Now
Into
that
the
you
Oh,
West,
mention
whatever
really?
you call it.
It's based on Journey to the West.
Uh-huh.
Did
That's
you
why
see- did you see him
Goku
perk
has
up?
all those like monkey
Today.
characteristics in the first. He's supposed to match that
you-
guy being kind of monkey-like.
You perk. I watched you physically perk up, dude. You went, oh, it's based on Journey to the West. Oh, cool.
I mean, it doesn't look. I
pretty
mean,
real.
it doesn't look like a game I would probably play, but that does like make it more interesting.
Yeah,
It looks like a Souls-like. Honestly, I don't know what it is though.
yeah, it does. I think it's more. If I'm correct, it's more action based, right? Like it's more.
Yeah, it
that
looks
could be.
kind of a little bit more elasticy, Souls-like. Like it's got
Yeah.
a little bit more flexibility. Like it's not as exacting kind of thing, but
Right.
Yeah, that looks cool.
certainly
I'm excited
appealing to
for it.
the Sekiros and stuff like that of the world.
Yeah. And then next was Asgard's Wrath 2 VR game. I don't
I
Fuck
don't
it.
have a VR.
fuck it.
Yeah, I'm on another podcast. For some reason, everybody's like 3 games they've been playing on VR keep coming up, and I'm just like, I'm gonna buy one to play Half-Life Alyx one day, and that's about all I
Yeah.
care about.
Well, I mean, like I'm such a shit because like I bought a Rift S when those came out, and then I bought a Quest when those came out, and then they stopped supporting the Rift S, and then I bought the Quest 2, and I have the Quest 3, and I've had like a bunch of different headsets. I've had the PSVR even. And I think, I don't know, it's just kind of gotten to the point where I'm like, I don't even fucking care anymore. Like, there's like 5 good games, and that's it. And, you know, the rest are like sandboxy, fuck around kind of things. So, yeah, it's not really worth it at this point.
How many proof of concepts do you need before it's time to actually make the concept?
Yeah. Though, honestly, the one that I really liked was Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. That was a really good one.
I've heard from everybody that likes VR that's like where you need to start kind of thing. So
Yeah.
that's good to hear.
It was really cool. A lot of cool like gun stuff, and you can like pull your backpack off and like put it in front of you and like arrange the stuff in your backpack.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of cool interactive things like that. So, but outside of those things, anytime a VR game gets announced, I'm like, yeah, fuck it. This one was something I was kind of confused on. I guess it's called Once Human.
Yeah, I think they revealed this in December at the last awards.
Okay. Yeah, I figured it had to have been revealed because it comes out July 9th. I don't know. The monster designs look really cool, but I think it's like it seems like Fortnite. So there's something Fortnite here that I'm not picking up on, you know? Like there's a Fortnite sort of.
I know exactly what you mean.
You know what
actually.
I mean? Like I think
Yeah.
I think this
I can
is
sense it.
I think this is Fortnite, you know? But yeah, there's that. I think
Someone saw Death Stranding in Fortnite and we're like, can we
can we get those?
I think we got a hit on our hands, boys.
Yeah. Also, really hated how
It's
they
even
made
got the
the
whale. It's even got the sky whale.
Oh, it does. Look at that. Yeah, I also really hated how this they made the date so big and the title so small. That was upsetting to me in a really deep
Yeah,
sort of
from a
way.
thumbnail perspective.
Yeah. Really,
Big ick.
really didn't. Yeah, I got the ick. And then after this bullshit, we get Space Marine 2.
What's up?
Let's fucking go.
Actually, it looks pretty sick.
It does. It looks great. I'm excited. I can't wait. Yeah. I mean, what else is there to say?
Yeah, I mean, when you make a game like that, it should speak for itself.
You know, I only have one criticism. Can graphics look too good? I think we can say that.
At least it doesn't look like Fortnite.
I kind of get
Yeah,
what you're
right.
saying. I kind of get what
No,
you're saying.
I'm just being a pest. No, I'm just pretending to have a problem.
It does
Yeah,
look.
it does look
It
really
does
neat.
look great though. It looks like fucking the details nuts. Like It's great. I don't know. I'm into it. I want to play it. I'll be playing it.
Yeah, something about that screams Gears of War in a really good way to me.
Yeah.
I second that.
Those little like cool daytime scenarios. You know, everything else has got to be at night and grim.
Yeah.
Got
yeah.
those nice gradients in daylight and everything. See everything.
Yeah. So Space Marine 2 gets a double thumbs up from us here at TGG.
Pretty unanimous. Everybody's
It's
excited about Space Marine.
TGG sponsored. So
Yeah, they're paying us.
we get a cut.
Yeah.
We get a kickback when you play.
They
it.
can
We're
see
on
make
that
it.
Games Workshop payroll.
And then next up was
That new Atlas game.
yeah, Metaphor Re Fantasio, the new Atlas game. Right, Fantasio, I don't know.
Gotta love the Japanese.
But they talked a little bit about the game, and they were mostly showing off the job system, which they're calling like archetypes. There's like 40 different ones in the game. Looks really cool. A lot more of the story too, which I'm interested. I was sold with the first reveal at the Game Awards. Looks very Persona Shin Megami Tensei-esque, probably because they made those games. But yeah, looks great. Jeremy in chat says 3 out of 10. Summer Games Fest was terrible, and that's being generous. I didn't think it was that bad. I
I've
didn't see the
seen
last stuff,
worse,
though.
but it definitely like wasn't. It wasn't very impressive, but I've seen way worse.
Yeah. So I mean, are either of you excited for this?
Man, I think it looks cool, and I've only played Persona 4 and 5, and I wasn't able to beat either of them.
Too hard.
But I really, no, too long. Well,
Yeah.
with the fifth game, I got to a choice, I fucked it up, and then I couldn't bring myself to keep going because I ruined it. And the fourth one, it was just so long. But I don't know. This looks like something I would enjoy, but I almost feel like I should play some more Persona first.
I mean, you can honestly play any of them at any time, but I mean, you should play more Persona first, just because.
I was thinking about doing Persona 3 Reloaded, but I kept hearing that they had changed and removed a bunch of stuff from the original, so I feel like I'd rather just play the original.
Don't listen to him. Just fucking play it. when like a Metal Gear fan is like, don't play the Master Collection, and like that's probably applicable to like most, like.
But I mean, I was hearing they
Don't play the
removed and
Silent Hill
changed
2
characters.
HD or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's accurate though. Don't play the Silent Hill
Well,
2 HD.
Yeah, Silent Hill 2 HD. I probably wouldn't actually, but I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like when
We
you're
can always count on all rules to apply, unless it's Silent Hill. And you
Unless
better
it's
back
Silent
the
Hill,
fuck
then
off,
yeah,
son.
don't.
Back off, buddy.
I can handle like a poorly optimized port, but like if they're altering characters and like taking out dialogue, I don't really want that version. I want
Actually,
the original.
To be honest, I don't know that much about what they changed in Persona.
That's what
3.
I heard. I heard that there was dialogue altered and removed, and that there were like character designs that were changed and stuff.
Well, I mean, you can just emulate it.
Well, yeah, that too would be. We could do that, but I don't know. That just I probably will at some point. I'm just saying that I was going to do Reloaded,
Oh,
but
and
then
then
I
you
had a
were
bunch
like,
of
gotcha,
hesitation because
gotcha.
I was like hoping it was gonna be the same thing but better graphics, and that's always that's like too good to be true. If they could just make the same game with better graphics, then we would live in a utopia where everything was perfect.
It's like that.
They have
that meme with the.
Yeah.
If they made just the same game with better graphics.
If developers would just make the same fucking game with better graphics instead of changing a bunch of shit.
Yeah. What do you think, Medium? What do you think about? Have you seen any of this game?
Not a ton. I mentioned Persona. I've tried to get into Persona a couple times. I think I probably played the old ones, so they're just like, not only are they probably a little bit divorced from my taste, but also just from the generation of like accessibility and stuff. So that probably wasn't the smartest idea, but
I started with 5, and I think you would probably be able to get into 5. I think 5 is super accessible for new audiences.
5 and 4.
I don't even like turn-based games, and I thought Persona 5 was fantastic.
It's long though.
Yeah,
It's a big
because I think
ask.
I went back to that one with
It's
like,
like 100 hours.
God, it might be like a 360 game or something with like the little bobbleheads, that walk around in the street, like that real zoomed out one.
Yeah, it's called like Infinite
Maybe
or
2 or
X
something.
or something like that. I can't remember. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, wait, is this a handheld that's been ported? What am I looking at?
Yeah, that's a weird one. That's like a spin-off of the main series. One of the very
Gotcha.
many spin-offs of the spin-off of Shin Megami Tensei. So that's like 3 spin-off levels deep.
Right. Many layers down on the onion.
Yeah.
They're making it work.
Well, this is I'm hyped for that one, so I will be keeping an eye out. Oh, this is fucking
God.
yeah. This is Arkham.
Dynamic duo. Shadow, maybe?
What is it called? Fucking
Speaking of your favorite, Arkham Shadow. maybe?
Arkham Shadow. Yeah, this is the new entry in the Batman Arkham verse that is VR exclusive.
Day one, baby.
On Meta Quest. It is
Yeah.
not.
Didn't they announce that they're going to stop supporting Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League soon?
Yeah.
I think they said they're like reducing the support, which was like
Yeah.
catastrophic news for that game.
Most of the team is moving over to development on the Hogwarts Legacy, like Ultimate Edition or something like
That's
that.
so funny.
Yeah.
That actually is the funniest place for them to be moved, in my
What in the
opinion.
world?
Yeah, and I think they said
Not even the same developer, just the same publisher. Interesting.
yeah. I think Rocksteady said something about like wanting to go back to single player games or something. So that
Probably smart decision.
could happen if they get the chance to do that and they don't get shut down. I mean, they are lucky because I really expected this ending and Rocksteady being shuttered. To be honest,
There's still time. I think that's still the most likely outcome. I think between now and 2026, Rocksteady is going to announce they've closed their doors, or rather, their doors have been closed for them.
yeah, that's pretty sad. But
Yeah.
what are you
I
gonna
get the
do?
impression that they did that Schreier interview, even if a lot of it was probably anonymous, to basically go, let's try and stay around, please.
Yeah,
Because like that was, you could tell that was like they were kind of angling like, hey Jason, could you kind of say that's kind of the point of why we're doing this? Let's go back to making what we're good at. This is why this turned out this way. Which I
Yeah.
mean, you would think would be the
well-
case, but usually people aren't as specific about what they want. They're just like, stay alive, please. We'll do
Yeah.
anything
Yeah.
afterwards.
I remember after the Saints Row reboot happened, Volition was like, actually, the game sold really well, and you're all just chuds. And then they revealed that the game sold really poorly, and then the studio got shut down.
Oh, nice. I didn't
Consider
really pay
yourself
attention to that.
#embraced.
Yeah, I paid attention to because I thought it was so funny.
Yeah.
Oh god.
But I will say, so I mean, obviously nobody really wanted the Arkham games to turn like to be a VR thing. That's not what, and they already did that, and it's like unplayable. When I was doing the Arkham review, I was trying to play that Arkham VR game that they made, and it's just like not supported on modern machines.
Blackgate, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think something like that. But
But you can press the key that lets you into the Batcave.
What?
But I think like when I was watching this trailer, because they don't show any game footage in this trailer. It's just like a story trailer. But when I was watching this trailer, like I had this kind of like ultimate awesome vision of a Batman Arkham VR game where you're like fighting off enemies and you're like there's like a little marker on their side to like punch them in the side and then like punch them in the head and then like, you know, break their neck or something. I don't fucking know.
Right.
But I think it would
Pick
be
one
cool.
up and throw them into another one.
Yeah, I think it could be. It could be cool. This has the potential to be like one of the 5 VR games that are actually good. Now, I mean, like nobody has VR, so that sucks that nobody's gonna play it. But you know, I don't know. I guess I'm trying to be optimistic.
Well, you know they're taking this seriously because they went with the edgy red title.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, look, we know we've been ignoring the edgelord fan base for a while now. We're trying to come
They
back.
got their red
Please
and
come-
white
come
text.
back to us.
Yeah.
We know, yeah, the red and white text. We know we ditched you for the last game. Look what we're doing this for you.
We've now
Let's redeem the doom and gloom letters.
Yeah.
The Shadow the Hedgehog color scheme.
Oh my god.
Yeah, wouldn't it be sad if it was just like a VR Batmobile racing sim or something.
That
Oh
would
my
be
God.
amazing.
Bro, you
That
could
would be
feel like you're
so
literally
fun.
pushing the pedal. You can eject.
The biggest troll of all time. Yeah. I don't
Because, like,
know.
let's
Or
be
you-
honest,
or
if
they
you're
don't let
making
you
a
play
VR
game, yeah.
game, don't you think it's pretty important that you show us why you chose this extremely specific tech?
Yeah.
Because there's so many ways to go with it. That seems like a real, especially what's like coming out in what,
Fall
2 or 3
2024.
months probably.
Like,
Yeah.
where the fuck does this game take place? It has to take place
Goodness.
between Arkham Knight and Suicide Squad, right? Because he's dead.
Yeah.
They killed him.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I mean, they're never going to be able to finish the fucking story for Suicide Squad because I think what they were planning, in my opinion, my theory was that everybody was going to come back. Like they were going to find a way to bring the Justice League back as their like normal, non-Brainiac selves, or they were like clones or something. But they couldn't get. I mean, it didn't matter anyways because the game fucking sucked. So who cares? Yeah, but this was what I wanted to say was that the official gameplay trailer is going to be at Gamescom, but it was weird to just kind of be like, hey, here's our story. The Rat King is going to be in it. That's it. So
Hell yeah.
see you later.
The
So
Rat King.
Fuck yeah, dude. That
think on
Nightwing
that?
villain. I think he's been in more Nightwing comics than he has been in Batman.
You think on that? We're getting the Rat King.
we're getting the Rat King. Let's
What's
go,
up?
boys. Let's go.
Also, he's shape shifting for some reason. What was that all about? You noticed that?
Rat King things.
What,
Hashtag just rat things.
who was shape shifting?
That I think it was I guess it was the Rat King at the beginning.
Oh,
Who the dude was with the goggles and stuff?
oh
that
yeah,
dude.
that. I don't know.
Okay,
what-
it's just his costume coming
yeah,
on, which
I
doesn't
think
make a
it
lot
was
of
just
sense
like
either.
The night,
Gotcha.
everybody has to wear gas masks or something. I don't know.
Interesting.
It would be cool if this trailer was just for a new Arkham game. I'll just say that. So, regular Arkham game. Next thing was, next thing was Street Fighter 6. They announced a bunch of new characters.
I want a Punisher VR game.
Hell yeah.
There you go.
Interrogate in VR.
Yeah, I want to
Break
like push
bones.
someone into a wood chipper in VR.
Grab both ends of their arm and just snap.
Like the old PS2 game, just shake, like dangle sharp knives above them and watch them like go through their skull. This is $1 million idea, by the way. Marvel,
That's true.
Punisher VR. I
Cha-ching.
promise they'll buy it.
The kids will love it.
Now, this next game, I got to defend a little bit. I'm sure there's like people saying that this looks goofy as hell because it really
does.
It does. The art style is fucking weird, but it's kind of like Darkest Dungeon, but with like Scottish
Cartoon
people.
Scots?
Yes, cartoon Scottish people. I don't know. It looks cool to me. Like looking at this footage, it kind of looks like the first Drakengard game or something. Like that. That's cool to me. Like I want to play that. So I think this kind of looks like the shit, but the art style sucks. Drakengard
That
is
art
Color
style's
contrast
pretty
is
damn
good
bad.
though.
yeah. I mean, some of it's cool. It looks like I don't like the way most of the character models look with that weird cell shading shit.
Yeah. It's weird the game looks better in motion than it does on the character screen. It's like really muted colors in the still screens.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's like a roguelike action game. I don't know. It looks kind of cool. I'll probably check it out.
You know, I feel like games that looked like this were more charming on 6th generation consoles. Like if that exact game was like announced for the Xbox, like the original Xbox, I feel like I'd be like, "Oh, that looks fun." But just the fact that I know how readily available like different resources are now, and I know they chose to make it look like that to like follow because that's what's in, feels kind of ruins it for me a little bit. You know what I mean? Does that make any sense at all?
Yeah, you're saying like that the like limitations made it like a little bit more like creatively working around limitations made it a little bit more
Yeah.
endearing. Now it's just kind of like this is a specific style you're going for.
Yeah,
easily.
I just know I don't know for sure, but I get the feeling that game looks the way that it does because that's how games are supposed to look when they're trying to be charming and endearing and fun. But if that exact same game had come out in like 2004 for for the original Xbox, it would look that way because that's how they wanted it to look. And then they had to figure out a way that they could get a certain amount of characters to fit on screen at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the thing is I know that it's not even that I dislike the art style. I dislike the reason I see so much of it.
Gotcha. I see what you're saying.
But if that same game was announced for the Xbox like 12 years ago, I'd be like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
More than 12, like 20, more like 20 years ago. But
and then the next game was Sparking Zero.
fuck yeah.
That's all you got to say is fuck yeah. This is your game.
I mean, look, man.
Speechless.
I appreciate Dragon Ball. Obviously, I'm a big fan. But since December of last year, I have played how many? I've played like 8 Dragon Ball Z games or something like that. And the thing about Dragon Ball games is like there's not a lot of lore or anything. It's the same story.
Yeah.
Every time. It's the exact same story. And a lot of times it's almost the exact same game, but with a few extra characters and scenarios. You know what I mean? So at this point, the feeling of playing another Dragon Ball Z game is like starting to make me feel sick. Even though it looks awesome. I'm a big fan of the Budokai Tenkaichi series. I'm putting a video out on Budokai Tenkaichi in 2 weeks, but fuck, dude. I'm burnt. I'm burnt on some Dragon Ball right now.
Nauseous.
Dragon Balled out.
Yeah, it looks great though. Like, cool.
Yeah. I don't know.
It is funny you mentioned that because I used to work at a GameStop back in like 2014, and I remember that whatever came out that year for Dragon Ball, it was like the thing. Maybe Xenoverse actually. I remember that.
Maybe actually, I think it might have been Xenoverse.
Yeah. And it's just funny that every time I see it, it looks just like me watching endless loops of Xenoverse trailers every time there's a new Dragon Ball Z that comes out.
Yeah.
Like, that's a Dragon Ball game.
Yeah. It kind of, when I was watching it, it kind of made me feel like it was just Kakarot again, which, that was cool. But,
well, Kakarot plays very different from Sparking Zero.
Yeah, I'm sure. But, like, it was the Dragon Ball story, and it's going to be the Dragon Ball story again. And just like different mechanics or something. I don't know. Oh, your mic's out. They cut you off.
I was just gonna say
too much.
The Dragon Ball franchise is in desperate need of like a different story.
Yeah.
Like a prequel or something.
Yeah. Okay, well, you heard it here first. Dragon Ball's dead. Nobody likes it.
That's maybe too soon to say that.
Fetch your red and white letters.
The next game was that Delta Force Hawk Ops game. This is the one you were talking about?
I actually thought, okay, so not this portion. Like, I'm not a big, like, extraction shooter fan.
Yeah.
Although I'm sure people will like this. But I thought that the single player actually looked kind of cool because I'm starving for, like, a military sim that takes itself seriously and doesn't have, like... And where it's not trying to make the main characters, like, Marvel heroes or something, and it's, like, campy dialogue.
Yeah, this first, it was a two-parter sort of reveal. Like the first half showed the free-to-play like online thing, and then the second half showed the single-player campaign, which is based on Black Hawk Down, I guess, which is kind of crazy.
It's a great movie.
Never seen it.
It's really cool, but I mean, it's cool to me. I like obnoxious action film, so I don't know if you'd like it or not, but it's just an obnoxious like action film. But I like Black Hawk Down. I think it's cool. This looks cool to me. I mean, this looks like Modern Warfare 2 back in the day, man. This looks like the exact kind of fucking edge slop that I crave.
To be honest with you, this looks a lot like they put Call of Duty's mechanics inside of Battlefield maps, which is a sexy combination.
That's true.
There's like a lot of depth and like a lot of fidelity, like way out in the distance, which is
it looks decent. I mean, I get what you're saying about like wanting a good military like sim game that's not, crazy over the top. We have superpowers and it's the future.
Yeah, I'm even fine with some over the top, but if you're gonna go over the top like 2009 Modern Warfare 2, not over the top like the most recent Modern Warfare's 2 and 3, where it's like a Marvel movie.
Or not like Sylvester Stallone in Over the Top.
Yeah, more like Sylvester Stallone and Rambo.
Killed it with that one, dude. Oh, that was so good. Okay, moving on.
Dude, I felt bad. I knew you were setting one up, and I didn't know enough to laugh at that sincerely. So I didn't know if I could fake it, and I got insecure. Sorry, I wasn't there for you, and
I appreciate the apology publicly. By the way, take note, future guests. Apologize to me publicly.
You saw it here first.
I made about 7 bad puns, and you make one good one. I'm just really like, oh, it's pretty good, I guess. Well done.
Okay, the next one was Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves. Did I already skip that? No, I didn't. Okay.
You probably should though.
Yeah, I guess it's just like a fighting game. Do either of you have interest in this?
Not even a little. I'm not a big fighting game fan.
Okay, cool.
Although I do want to say the character designs really cool.
Yeah.
I think that if anything, developers should look at these character designs and start like taking fucking notes.
Take notes, developers. Make your guy look like that.
Yeah, Condor.
Yeah.
Take 5. Look it up.
We need more of that.
So there was that, and then you get to be if you get Dolby, you get to be Master Chief. 2 they announced.
He's literally
it's a 1-2 punch.
This one I actually didn't take any notes on and didn't write the name down because I forgot to pay attention. Was this anything cool?
I like that you like stopped it and said, "I just want to point out that I didn't take notes on this because I wasn't paying attention."
Yeah.
It
is hard to take notes on something you're not paying attention to. I will tell you that.
Yeah.
It looks like a mobile game.
Yeah. I think it's like a fighter, like maybe a League of Legends thing or brawler or something. I don't know. Yeah. Whatever.
I hate it.
Yeah. Next one was Mecha Break.
Okay, this one actually looks kind of cool.
I thought this was a Gundam game at first.
I think everyone
exactly like a Gundam game. Yes.
I was like, oh, this is. I even wrote in my notes Gundam game at the top, and then I was taking notes on
legally dangerously like Gundam.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is Gundam, and then at the end it said Mecha Break, and I was like, oh wait, what the fuck? Okay.
Not Gundam, but Gundam.
Yeah.
It's like Pal World is Pokemon.
It definitely is also like releasing, pretty close to Armored Core 6, trying to bring that audience, and the gameplay looks kind of a lot like that. So I guess more Armored Core 6.
Tribes. It looks like Tribes Vengeance. You guys probably don't even know what the hell
What the fuck is
I know what you're talking about.
Vengeance?
It's an old it's an old sci-fi shooter from the early 2000s.
Yeah, it's like one of those kind of big. I don't know, not what do you call them? Like when they have like above average player count and stuff like that in them.
Yeah, it was Ken Levine. So before he did like BioShock and that stuff, he did Tribes Vengeance. He wrote Tribes Vengeance.
I think I know what you're talking about, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool game.
If you watch that FPS documentary, I think it was in there too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Featured in that.
Yeah, it was.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It was a cool game. I think Tribes Vengeance is great.
Okay, so do none of us care about, or no, we kind of care about Mecha Break.
Yeah, it looks fun. It looks like something I'd play for like a week and then be done.
Okay. What about you, Medium? Would you play Mecha Break?
To be honest, it looks like one of those games that I wouldn't necessarily like jump out of my seat for, but I'd probably come to it, when it comes to it goes on sale or something, I'd be like, that actually was kind of fun, surprisingly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks solid enough. I'm not sure if it's like my thing I have to play, but yeah, that looks promising.
All right. Next, this was kind of crazy. This was a weird, unexpected.
Oh yeah, the Blumhouse
highlight for me actually. Yes.
Nice.
So Jason Blum is now getting involved in horror games. He's not just, spraying diarrhea shit all over the movie industry. He's going to do other games too. But
I'll recover here in a sec, I promise.
No, I mean, to be honest, like this was a showcase that announced that they're going to be publishing games, and they announced like a bunch of horror games under their banner from different studios. They announced Grave Seasons, Crystal Theater of the Idols, Sleep Awake, Fear the Spotlight, The Simulation, And then at the end, they announced like a game that I guess Brandon Cronenberg is involved in, which was like kind of crazy to me. But fuck it, I'll be there. But there's like this farming pixel horror game. There's this, there's like another like low poly.
Seeing a lot of
game.
essay bait.
Some of these are essay bait for sure. Some of one or two of them, I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. This I like the design of this, but I mean, it's a big showcase in like 2 minutes, so you can't really determine what looks good and what doesn't. This one kind of looks.
Oh gosh, we got PlayStation bait here.
Yeah, everybody's on that
pixel
train
bait.
right now. Mostly,
PlayStation graphics are cool.
mostly I've
So
been
much dithering.
mostly I've been there for it. I think most of the indie PS1 style graphics games I've played recently are good, but there will become a time when it's saturated. Like
VR, I assume here.
this one was kind of cool. So the concept is like he's like a game designer, and they invited him to like solve some mystery or something. So he's like moving those characters around in the game world or something. I don't know, but I thought that one kind of looked cool. And yeah, fucking Brandon Cronenberg and Sam Barlow.
Yeah, what the hell is Cronenberg doing there?
It was just such a shock.
Barlow sounds familiar. Is that one of those like? Is it like
Bro should
one
be
half of that
making body
indie
horror movies.
What'd you?
film thing, horror guys? I may be misremembering. The guys that did the Endless.
Sam Barlow.
I may be totally off base. It just sounds weirdly familiar.
Yeah, it does sound like I've heard that. Oh, it did Her Story, and he also did Silent Hill Origins and Silent Hill Shattered Memories. That's why I know him.
He got out before Homecoming.
The two people I actually like. Yeah, but I thought some of these looked cool. Could be interesting, but also Jason Blum's behind it. I felt really bad for the lady he brought out with him because she choked on stage and couldn't get her full words out, which was kind of embarrassing. So, rip that.
That's the best of us.
But they definitely.
Oh,
What was that?
fun fact too, that Sam Barlow guy actually developed that Immortality game that did really well last year.
Oh,
Or was it
okay.
last year?
Yeah.
The like kind of not really found footage, but like, sift through the old videos to find the clues type thing.
Yeah, yeah. I still haven't played that, but it looked really good, and I heard a lot of good things about it.
It is a weird game to play. I'd probably want to watch it. It is not an enjoyable gameplay experience, but it is a cool mystery. Yeah.
One of those.
I heard Sam Lake actually, I don't know if he took inspiration from it, because he has like a list like 20 long of all the things he says influenced Alan Wake 2.
Yes.
So it's probably just anything he watched in the years prior, but I know he was pretty high on that game too for obvious reasons.
Okay.
Dude, he keeps showing up everywhere, man.
Yeah.
I know, dude. He likes everything. He likes Everywhere All at Once. I tried to watch that the other day because he was like, once I watched that movie, I knew we could do anything we wanted with Alan Wake 2. I was like, you did.
I can see that. That's a good movie though. It's a pretty decent movie. This was the next one was Power Rangers Rita's Rewind. It's like a beat 'em up. I am not going to play this, but the pixel art is beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's really good.
It looks identical to that Shredder's Revenge thing.
Yeah. I mean, it takes a ton of inspiration from. It's you talking about the Xbox game things. This seems like a game that would have been released on like Xbox Live Arcade back in the day, like Scott Pilgrim
Rip.
kind of thing.
I
God.
mean, I'm sure there's a market for it.
Yeah.
Yep.
There was.
Dude, I find a way to talk about that old arcade almost every time I can.
Really.
That was so good. Like, it's just like the greatest model for like what we should do instead of constantly making Ubisoft likes all day.
Yeah.
Make a really good game for $15.
I also noted here that when they said when Jeff Keighley said it's a new Power Rangers game, there was one guy in the audience that went, "Yeah!" Like he was like super excited that there was a new Power Rangers game.
Hell yeah.
Well, good for him.
Yeah, so I'm happy for that guy. And oh yeah, this game also SA bait, and I will definitely be playing it. It's called Boy and Deer, or Deer and Boy, and it's just this like this long sequence that feels like a Folgers commercial or something. Like I'm gonna cry. This little boy picks up this deer, and he's like raising it, and then they become friends, and then
I'm telling you. Yeah, Dave Oshry was on Twitter, and he was like, "You better not let that deer die."
Yeah,
they got the Life is Strange graphics going on.
a little bit, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, but I don't know. This is my thing again. This is kind of like the Neva game, Neva Eva.
Also, when we get to it, you got to take a look at Jeff Keighley's shoes. He's got on those "I've become so numbs."
Really?
Yeah, he's got on those "Someone if you can see the dark inside of me" on stage.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, when you get
I
a
knew he was
chance,
an edgelord.
peep those sneakers he's got on.
He's a secret edgelord.
Keeps it tucked down behind that little high collar there.
Next,
You'll never know.
Next was Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
Nice.
Looks pretty cool, actually.
I'm gonna try and run to the bathroom before this trailer ends, so you guys can talk about it. Cause I got piss.
I don't really have.
Nice.
I played a little bit of the first one. I bought the first game. I played it for like 45 minutes, and then I realized that it would be an insane investment of time, so I refunded it, and I was like, I just didn't have time to play it. But maybe this is the one because it looks pretty stellar.
Yeah, the it's kind of funny. I was like, I hope he really doesn't just adore the first Kingdom Come. I'm going to be the party pooper. But yeah, that is like, you want to like it because you know it's trying really hard to do things that most other studios don't give a shit about right now, which is to be commended. But like, there is a point at which things can be too drawn out.
It's
Like-
just too okay. I only played 45 minutes, but I just started.
Right.
I could tell
Right.
it was about to be a thing, and I just didn't have time for it. So I don't know. Maybe this will be the one to go with.
hmm Yeah, it was a really huge investment of time, and it's like, it's not real accessible
Yeah.
because it's not just that it's drawn out. It's also like it feels like it's punking you a little bit.
Oh,
And you're
really?
like, I could have sworn I just did what you asked me to do. And the game's like, yeah, but you have to do it just right. And you're like, well, what's just right? I thought that was what you just, and it kind of goes from there. And it's kind of one of those like immersion porn type things where it's like, you're in it to feel like you're doing it. And even if it doesn't feel that good to do it, the fact that the game is asking you to feel like you're doing it is sort of like the response, the positive response I keep seeing. And I'm
I
like,
see.
there's a gap, like a chasm between needing
this
it to
looks
feel
cool.
that manual. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the other game looks
I'll
really cool
probably play
too.
it.
That's like the game, in addition to taking to being so deliberate that it will like, you have to watch your guy fast travel across the map. It's got some really good cutscenes in it.
I really enjoyed the first game. I thought it was cool. Was a little clunky on purpose though.
Definitely.
Yeah, but I'm excited for the second one. I'll play it for sure.
Yeah, I fired it up the other day just being like, was this actually as inaccessible as I thought it was? And I was like, yup.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm gonna come back to this one when I feel ready, emotionally
Yep.
safe.
Yeah. Next one was Slitterhead.
Yeah.
Yeah, Slitterhead looks really cool.
I was shocked at the genre of the game. It's way more actiony than I expected, but
I think they announced that on release, though. I think they said it was like a horror action or something like that.
did they? Okay. I might just not have been paying attention.
I was pretty sure when they were when they had whoever was talking about it, they said that it was a something action game because I remember I was like, oh, this is a horror game, and then I remember they said, and I was like, oh, maybe not.
Yeah.
It's more like a gross out action game, probably.
Yeah, but I mean the fucking monster designs are just beautiful. I mean,
But
This
I
is giving me delightful Evil Within vibes.
yeah, in a good way. But I can't tell if there's actually a main character or if you just soul swap between any random NPC.
yeah. I at first
Watch
I thought
Dogs
it was,
Legion it.
I thought it was that like detective, but
You thought it was Sebastian from Evil Within, but it's not.
Right.
I want to whatever that guy, whatever this guy is. Not
Gross,
this guy.
nasty.
This guy. I want to play this guy. I like his shirt. That's a cool shirt. I want to play that guy.
That's the move, yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
if you can be a mime, choose to be a mime.
It's nuts. I mean, and like the aesthetic, general aesthetic outside of the enemies, really cool. The world looks good. Red eyes, veins,
Yeah, it gives off
motorcycle helmet.
fuck. What was that anime where they use Dead Man Wonderland? I don't know if you guys ever actually know anything about that, but this gives off Dead Man Wonderland vibes. The way they like utilize blood as weapons.
I think I read the manga, but I didn't watch the anime.
It only got one season and then it canceled it for some
Okay.
reason. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool little anime.
Yeah, fucking Gatling gun with like blood veins Gatling gun. Like this is
Yeah,
fucking
that's-
nuts.
Oh, there's Dante from DMC.
It's DLC.
Yeah. Featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series.
Dog, and you get to be a dog too. Yeah, Slitterhead, November 8th. So just like a month after Silent Hill 2 remake.
Interesting.
So hopefully, if it's bad, we have this to look forward to. Yeah, I think it looks cool. I'm super excited for it. I've been waiting for that one for a bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's my first time seeing that. That is not what I expected at all.
Right?
Based on the pedigree of the people involved.
Yeah, it's I thought it was gonna be more of like a horror. I'm sure it will
Yes.
be horror, but
I think it's going to be horror in design, not in
Yeah.
execution.
yeah.
Has a
think it's gonna be
very
an
like
act-
Ghostwire Tokyo feel to it, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, next was the Bean game.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was fucking hilarious that this
Hell yeah,
followed
girl.
Slitterhead. Like,
I think
Crazy.
somebody was saying that they I don't know if it's real, but I think somebody was saying they think David Hayter is doing one of the voices in this thing.
I think I heard something about that too. Or I don't
know if that's accurate.
I don't know much about these movies.
They're insane.
Okay. It looked
They're
cool.
just a
The
little
game
piece
looks
little piece of internet lore.
Nice.
my notes I just wrote Metal Gear Solid 6.
It's pretty accurate. Well, I think David Hayter actually is voicing in it. So.
Yeah, that was all I wrote because this is just, I mean, it's what we wanted. Metal Gear Solid 6. Yeah, this is a solo developer too, I guess.
It is. It's just one guy. I think he crowdfunded this too.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but say I've heard about this before, like as one of those things that went viral on Twitter, a couple days or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this looks familiar. Looks
Yeah.
even better than it did back then.
Yeah, it's definitely a meme game, but I mean, I think it's gonna bring. I had heard about this, but I didn't really care, and then I saw the gameplay, and I was like, okay, this is kind of fucking crazy. Like, I'll check it out. Look at that. Oh, German suplex.
Metal Gear Solid 6.
Yeah.
Fava Liberation.
I mean, tell me this isn't. Tell me this isn't giving you Metal Gear Solid vibes.
Kinda.
Look at that.
Nostalgia. Oh, Metal Gear right
MGS.
there.
I told you. What? I mean, look
Yeah,
at it.
you know what's up. You're
Yeah.
not messing
Look,
around.
there's the Metal Gear right there. There it is.
Metal Gear. Metal Gear 6, early access summer 2024. Yeah, it looks cool. I'll check it out. The next one was a climbing game called Cairn, by French developers, I believe.
I'm
And
not sure if I can.
oh,
They're like, if you ever wanted to climb, but you don't want to put in the work, do you want to pretend like you're climbing without any of the physical benefits? Then, boy, do we have the game for you.
Now, Evan, don't be cynical. There will be tons of heartfelt conversations as they sit there doing almost nothing. Okay.
I'm sure that the
gonna be-
conversations will be quirky and relatable.
While they may not be moving, you will be moved.
the whole
Oh
like
yeah, that's a quirky and relatable protagonist if I've ever seen one.
Well, wait, I want to push back a little bit because the game's not very like quirky. It seemed like the whole like thing to the game was like the
Looks like it plays
anger or
Quap.
like failure of like falling and trying again. Like the character's very mad the whole time, you know? Because when I first saw it, I was like, oh, this is just Jusant. Like Jusant came out last year.
Yeah.
But
This is getting over it.
it seems like there's a little bit more to it, I guess. Jusant was very fast. Like you could just fucking run through that game. But this seems more like a little bit. It's what I'm trying to say is it's the Dark Souls of climbing games.
Oh, okay.
There's something in my brain that
that up
switched
for us.
on, and I was like, "Oh, he said it. Okay, shit.
Yeah,
He did the thing."
it happened at the same time. Yeah, I mean it looks okay. This is for me. This is something I'll check out. I don't know.
Yeah, it's always worth checking those out. You never know.
Yeah,
They'll probably be easy. They won't be like, they're
Well, one
Movies
thing I
you play.
noticed, it looked like her limbs were like vibrating super hard, which makes me wonder if you have to control like each limb independently.
Yeah.
Which is why I was thinking like, it was like Quap,
that,
and it was
yeah.
just like super frustrating to play.
yeah. I see what you're saying because like you gotta
Death Stranding on mountains.
You gotta do wall holds or whatever.
Yeah.
This is Alex Honnold Simulator. And the next game was from the developer of Stanley Parable.
Did you like the Stanley Parable?
Davey Redden. I liked it when I was younger. I think it's aged a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. See, that's what I was about to say. I think that game was pretty interesting when it came out because it just predated the way writing was going to be by about 5 years.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's aged. Like if you play it now, it's like okay, this isn't. It's for me. I mean, my style of humor has changed drastically since I played that game for the first time. So, but this is like you play a tea maker. You play somebody that makes tea. It's like a farming game, but obviously
I do love tea.
there's like a twist at the
Tivana
end.
Simulator.
Yeah. There's like a twist
There's
at
an
the
Angry
end
Bird.
because she kind of is like she's a warrior and she's supposed to be like fighting, but she's here making tea because she's like forced to. And I'm assuming the game is actually going to be about breaking out of this and like doing something else.
Yeah. Keeping the big coffee corporations out of her town.
Yeah.
Fuck those coffee guys.
Big coffee.
Man, she looks a lot like the protagonist of that climbing game we just saw.
It's very. There's something Fortnite about this too.
She's got a lot of skill sets.
She's in every game. It's all the same character.
She actually she does kind of look like the Star Wars Outlaw character too, in the way.
It's all one big crossover universe.
It's all just the same character. That's really funny. Actually.
Evan sees behind the veil. We're just paying attention to games. He's
Yeah.
Illuminati shit going on here.
Knox says,
Yeah.
I liked one single game. What was the one game? I'm
I'm
interested
in
to
on
hear.
on the secret.
Look at it. It's right there. You see that? The A right at the top. What do you see?
Yeah.
It's like when somebody's showing you a dollar bill.
If you have
and you're 16.
eyes.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
it's like if you have eyes to see.
The
An
next
eye to see, all seeing.
this next game was by Reflector, and I don't even know. I was like,
Indie games should be banned from these events.
damn,
man.
wow.
Or we just need better indie games.
I think a lot of the problem with like some of the games at like game events and stuff like that is like a lot of the indie games are more like AA games, you know, so they're kind of in between like a AAA and like an indie game.
There isn't okay. So the thing is with these events, the indie games they show are all this same fucking essay bait, like sloppy stuff. But there is an entire like corner of the indie game market that's games like Mullet Mad Jack or Sulaco or just these insane like fucking brutal, hyper violent. Those exist, but you wouldn't know they exist if you watch these events.
Yeah.
Because they don't give any screen time to Broforce or anything that's like violent and cool and interesting. It's all just the most like toned down simulator shit that you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I think there's just because there was the controversy earlier this week where they were talking about how much it costs to get a spot at Summer Games Fest, and then they sort of updated later and said, you know, well, we give some spots to indie titles for free if we really enjoy them or think they deserve it or something. But I don't know. Like there's so many games out there that are being made by like solo devs that are really weird, interesting things that don't really show up at these events because I think they just don't fit. They're not as marketable. At the end of the day, you're still like this is a showcase to try and market games as well as you can.
Yeah, but you would just think that they would pick like 2 more like mass appealing games, because ultimately I don't know how appealing some of these games are to a mass market.
Like what, for example?
The tea making game.
Oh,
like
well, I
are
mean, it's a
there
farming
millions
game,
of people? Are there millions of like people who are excited to wishlist that and pre-order it on Steam? Like maybe
yeah.
dude, I could be
maybe
fucking
not
stupid,
millions, but I think like
more than
farming
like
games
Mullet Mad
particularly.
Jack though. You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying it has to be Mullet Mad Jack. I'm just saying that like you would think that they would show one. You think they would leave a spot for like one like traditional game, like something you would have seen like 12 years ago coming out on a console that's trying to be more in your face, kind of like video gaming. There's just none of those. You know, you'd think they'd have at least one. All
Like
of these
something
games
like
look the fucking
Sulaco or
same.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like Sulaco. I'm serious. All of these games, when I say they look the same, they don't. They're all very unique and and they're all trying different mechanics. But not to sound like a fucking low IQ idiot, but I'm not seeing any explosions or guns here. You know what I
Space
mean?
Marine.
When I think about that's not an indie game.
No,
My point.
I know. I'm fucking with you.
Yeah, the point I'm making here is that like the impression that these events give about the indie video game scene is that it's all that. It's all these really like experimental, like indie, like art graduate fucking thesis projects.
For real.
You know what I mean?
So
Yeah.
Like
I agree with your point. Like I do think, like honestly, there are weirder, like cooler games out there that they could be showing that are in development. But like,
just give me like one. Just
but-
give me one indie, like violent indie game.
wait. But have you when you were watching the show, were you looking at the chat?
No, I wasn't reading the chat.
Dude, it's fucking brain dead. Like people don't even give a shit. It doesn't matter what indie game you put there. They're either the type of person that's going to give a shit and they're interested, or they're not. And most of them don't care. They're watching these showcases to see fucking Call of Duty, whatever. Grand Theft
You mean
Auto
they're there for
6.
the big reveals?
So,
yeah,
even this
I mean-
chat's kind of triggering me right now to that effect.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you're probably right about that. It's frustrating to me as someone who like enjoys video games as an art form for what they are. It's just a pattern, man. It's just something I notice. It's not just with this game event. It's just most of the time when you think of an indie game, you think of the kind of indie games they show here. You think of these types of games. It's just I just feel like they could make room for like one indie dev out there who's like trying to do something less art school. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, call me crazy too, but isn't kind of part of the problem too is that they've gone so far away from actually being experimental. A lot of these indie games aren't experimental anymore.
Yeah.
They're just, like he's saying, the art graduate stuff. It's like this kind of breathy, wide shot, slow zoom out kind of, and that's really why you're playing it. It feels nice, but it's not necessarily, it's not that you can't say it is a game, because that's even more pretentious than liking it because for the same reason. But there's a certain point where you kind of want to actually play something that's a little strange, a little, Xbox Live Arcadey, and it doesn't have to necessarily be new, but it needs to be a little bit novel in like the composition of what it is versus everything sort of being this low engagement required, hands off, kind of just push left to win type thing. Everything. It's
Journey-
like most things are 2D.
Oh, no.
Journey did this shit like over a decade ago. Do you guys remember that game? Journey.
I thought you were gonna say
that
Journey.
came to mind earlier when he was saying he really liked one of those platformers. I was like, this feels like Journey.
I thought you were gonna say Journey Journey and its consequences were a disaster for
Oh
the game
no,
industry.
no, well, I thought Journey was good. I thought Journey was
Yeah, Journey
fun.
was good.
You know, granted, it's been a while since I played it, but back when I played it, I was like, this is interesting. This is different. This is kind of refreshing. I think Journey is a cool game, but you know, at some point, all of these games have just become variations of the type of game Journey is, and I actually think that's okay. I have no problem with these kinds of games existing. Or you know, you have games like Stray, where you play as a cat and you're just wandering around and exploring environments. I think that kind of game is fun. It's fine. I'm glad that they exist, but I'm getting really frustrated with only ever seeing that kind of game represented in indie categories.
Yeah.
Whenever that isn't all indie games, you know what I mean? That's the frustrating part, is that a lot of people now associate that type of game with indie games.
Yeah,
You know?
I think it's, but what I'm saying is like I again I agree with you. Obviously, like I think there's way better stuff out there. But like I think that the reason it's being done is because they believe that that's what's most marketable, you know. And that,
yeah, there probably is something to be said about that.
it's like
which
a
is insane,
feedback,
right?
It's like a feedback loop, you know, into like, if they only show those games, then that's what people define as indie, and then that's what's expected as indie. I mean, we should also say that like Day of the Devs is happening right now after this, or was happening right now after this, and does showcase more indie games.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
so,
probably true.
So they do, you know, it's, but I mean, you know, obviously you can make the case that like way less people are watching that. Nobody, everybody's going to tune out after that. But
It's just the idea that those games are more marketable that perplexes me, because all of the most popular, most played games are like brainless shooter games. I mean, Fortnite is one of the biggest games out there. And then, you know, what else is there? You know, you got Modern Warfare 3, you got Warzone. Like, all of the most popular games are games where the entire goal is to shoot someone. You would think you would just think you saw a little bit more representation of that genre in your fucking game awards show. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I understand what you're saying, and it makes a lot of sense. It's just hard for me to wrap my head around the idea that these games that are so far away from the proven successful formula are what is more marketable and successful. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I think the other thing too is like there are, you know, even just like going through the indie games that I'm doing for this indie games video, like there are newer indie games coming out that are doing the artsy fartsy, slow, you know, let's breathe in it a little bit sort of vibe way better, and with more interesting mechanics, like experimenting, being unique with their aesthetic and things like that, better than I think a lot of things that they show off do. Yeah,
it'd be nice if we had a couple more games that were maybe like, I don't know, Pacific Drive is like a good example, but something that like hooks you with the vibes and then gives you something kind of interesting and weird to do that's unusual, that plays into like the AA or the indie, you know, it plays to their budget, like what they have to work with.
Or hell,
That
how
may
about
not
like a
last for
racing
20
game?
hours.
You know, it doesn't have to be a shooting violent game, but how about a racing game or something that isn't one of these like quiet, slow, harmless fucking like art project games, dude. How about a racing game? I'll take a racing game. I like racing games. How about something?
I don't like racing games.
Oh, I love racing games.
No, I do. I actually was playing Gran Turismo 7 the other day. A whole bunch.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I have rubber band PTSD so often from those games. I'm just like, I never feel like I'm like really playing against something fair. It's always sort of like obvious when the thing is like, oh, you're winning too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Like,
classic mechanics.
You sons of guns. Gotcha. We got a little bit more to go. We may want to knock some of it out.
We went on a little bit of a tangent there. But this
A
one,
bit of a rant.
this one, I don't know. It looked boring to me. It's like a, I don't know. It also, the only thing I really wrote down in my notes was that it has the worst title ever. It's called Unknown 9 Awakening.
I've seen that title for months now and just been like,
Like what?
It's not
the
Japanese. You can't just say it's a translation error. Just don't do that.
Fuck? Yeah.
Well, I mean, at this point, there's so many things that like titles that have been taken. You know, you're running out. You're running
Yeah.
out of titles.
It reminds me of that game Scars Above. I was like, what the fuck?
And then they showed off like some Monster Hunter shit. And then this game was called Entoria, the last song. I think they said they were going to show off gameplay of it later, but they didn't show any gameplay. But I can tell you that I would bet $20 that it's a Souls-like game.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like the little dude from Bloodborne.
Yeah, it looks like a
Like
Souls-like
he's got the same
game.
little Pied Piper hat or whatever that
Yeah,
is.
it's just
Little,
so more of those. While I was watching this trailer, I was thinking like there's going to be Souls-like fatigue setting in pretty soon. I think within the next
Surprised
few
that hasn't
years.
happened already.
There are a lot of them, man.
dude,
Do
those
you
guys are
guys-
fanatics. They never get tired of it.
Do you guys have you guys ever played Monster Hunter at all?
I played
Played a little bit of World.
whatever
Little
the
bit.
not the newest one is, but the last one.
Were you guys fans of that at all?
No.
No,
know-
it's just a little bit too drawn out. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't feel like it has a rhythm to it to me. And like I
So the
watch
thing
the end
is-
result that people get to, and I'm like, oh great.
Yeah.
It's like you don't get there.
Yeah.
It's I felt the same, right? I put like 20 hours into it because a friend of mine really wanted me to play it. He loved Monster Hunter, and so I tried to get into it for a while. And you know, it's drawn out. There's a lot to it. I never really felt fulfilled playing it. It's just not for me. But I will say I'm happy for Monster Hunter fans. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I feel good for Mount because they seem like they're always getting content.
They
It seems like it seems like the content they're getting is always like what they want.
Mhm.
It's like every time there's new Monster Hunter, it's like, oh, obviously you wanted more Monster Hunter to look like the Monster Hunter you got last time, but kind of different with like new stuff. So that's what we gave you.
Mhm.
So like, you know, I'm really happy for that fan base, even though like us being who we are, if you're like a Dragon Age fan, you're fucking being tortured or something. But,
Yeah. Yeah. Shouts
Where's
out
my
to them.
narrative context?
yeah, there was a YouTuber I watched named Racevic who did a video about Warhammer, and he was like he envies the Warhammer community. This is years ago, but he said I envy the Warhammer community, but I'm also happy for them because they get so much content in their universe, and you know him being like a Mass Effect fan or something, you get none.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's how I feel about Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
It seems like every time I turn around, they're announcing like a new DLC or like a new game or something. They're always happy about it. It's always exactly what they want. So
Yeah, there's a lot of fan bases like that where I see they're getting something new and I'm like, damn, good for them. Not for me,
Yeah.
but good for you. Yeah.
that's how I feel. It's like not my thing, but I'm really happy that you're getting that. You know,
Yeah.
I'm happy for you to be.
Yeah.
Flourishing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this I don't. I mean, it looks kind of cool. There's some aesthetic stuff that I like, but nothing crazy.
Yeah. I've never really played a Souls-like game before, so.
I like how the Souls likes are all like getting crazier and crazier names, like Thymesia and whatever, how you pronounce whatever we just saw there.
Yeah. And then this game was the first Descendant. And I don't know what it really was. I guess you use a They made Keeley made a point to mention that there's a grappling hook mechanic in the game. So do
Thanks,
with
Jeff.
That narrows it
what you
down.
will. They did use the song in the trailer that they use in the Sky King video. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
No.
Damn. Rip. But yeah, they use that song. I don't know. It's like some weird, like, it kind of reminded me of like Mass Effect Andromeda a little bit.
It looks kind of neat, actually. I'm a big sci-fi nerd, so I'm kind of into what I'm seeing. This looks kind of cool.
It's a cool aesthetic.
Yeah.
Some cool weapons.
Could be like
shit.
the Anthem redemption story.
Yeah.
I kind of fuck with what I'm seeing a little bit.
Yeah. I thought it
Very-
it looked interesting.
Yeah, that looks like something I could potentially get into.
Yeah, it's funny that we complain about trailers all the time. Then you can tell like when a trailer like has some measure of restraint, and you just like your faith is renewed a little bit. You're like,
Yeah.
it's just slow enough where I feel like they're not trying to blast me with effects and everything. Like they want me to sit here and take this in a little bit.
There was a trailer coming up that felt like you're just getting blasted repeatedly.
I'm
Oh, boy.
starting to see enough unique looking characters that it's worrying me that it's just some fucking hero shooter game.
It could be, yeah. It could be
Because
like
my interest will die
Outriders.
immediately.
It's probably like Outriders or something.
Mm-hmm. You play the first Descendant, but there are 8.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's, and it's coming out really soon. I had never heard about this game,
Right around a Kona.
but yeah, there it is. The next one
Really looks
was
neat.
the Among Us developers have started a
Yeah,
publishing
I saw that.
studio, and I just want to petition. You know what? This might be a hot take. Don't let the developers talk at the game showcase show.
You mean because she was super nervous the whole time?
They're always all super nervous, except unless it's Sam Lake. Let Sam Lake talk. He's fine. He does very well. Anybody else, don't let them talk. Keep them in the back. They're supposed to be in the back for a reason. They
I
get
think
too
it's good
nervous
for 'em.
around people. Get them out there. Test them by trial by fire.
Well, yeah, well, no, it's not even testing them, but they're going to. I think it's healthy. I think it's good for these developers to get to go out and talk about the thing that they made and mess up and stumble and stammer, and you know, they'll be like, "Man, I'm embarrassed about that," but ultimately, I think they'll be glad they did it, and I think it does endear the fans to them a little bit more.
It's when I was watching these developers like fumble around a little bit, I was like, you know what? This is the only remaining thread of E3. Like this is the only remaining lifeblood that E3 brought over was developers being nervous on stage. That's still there.
Yeah, I'm a fan of that. You're right. Hot take. That's a hot take. I don't really agree with that. I like seeing developers I don't even like seeing them stammer because I'm trying to laugh at them. I just feel like it's probably healthy for them to have to experience that, you know?
Yeah. Oh, it's a positive way to look at it, I guess.
And also,
Well,
I think it endears people to him. I think when she stumbled over her words, she was nervous, but I think most people were probably endeared to it.
Okay. Yeah, Outer Sloth is the name of their studio. They did a similar thing to the Blumhouse Games thing, where they showed a bunch of different games. Mars First Logistics. I had a list here. Mars First Logistics, Battlesuit Aces, Mossfield Archives, One Button Bosses, Rogue Eclipse, and Project Dosa. And I gotta say, I wasn't interested in any of these.
What do you think, High Funk? Any of those appeal to you?
The only thing that jumps out at me is that first one looked like Sable. Like it's kind of copy that Mobius art style. That might be kind of cool. But
Yeah.
I was kind of interested in that Rogue Eclipse game a little bit.
Oh, this shooter.
get a little Elite Dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, Elite Dangerous is a space trucker game. There's like no combat in that game.
This game was about you are making food for locals, and you have to defend against the corpos and fight against the corpos that come in. So okay.
He definitely looks like he fights against Corpo.
Yeah.
Who the
So
fuck makes these
Those
games,
red hot
man?
frosted tips. Little,
and
Fighting
then
the late stage capitalist society.
yeah, it's like it was very yick. Among Us TV show. Fuck
Dude, I
off.
couldn't
in
believe
the
the
hell?
cast. I couldn't believe the cast they had for that.
Wait, what's the? I didn't even
Yeah.
look at it.
I saw
Oh,
Phil Lamar
shit.
pop across. That's cool.
Elijah Wood, Ashley
Yeah.
Johnson, Wayne Knight.
Nice.
Holy fuck. Yvette Nicole Brown. Wow. That's interesting.
That's not a
They're
repulsive
not messing
cast.
around with.
Yeah.
They're not messing around with this show, man.
We're not, it's the Among Us TV show, and we're not fucking playing around, dude.
It has to be perfect.
Sonic, what was it? Sonic X Generation? Sonic X Shadow Generations.
Yeah, I think it's Sonic X Shadow Generations.
You guys Sonic fans?
I don't think I've ever played a Sonic game. I think I played like 2 levels of Shadow the Hedgehog when I was like 12.
Okay.
Yeah, I've always been tempted to pick up the 360 ones just to be in on the game a little bit because, like, I missed a lot of this stuff when I was younger because I just didn't own anything. So I've always been kind of tempted to go backwards, but I've never really played. Never really played Sonic.
could actually take it back. I did end up playing, I think, 10 or so hours of Frontiers, that new one they put out like a year or two ago, and that was actually pretty fun, but it wasn't really for me. So
Yeah, yeah. I've always been kind of on the outside too. I never really played them as a kid, and when I tried to get into the older ones when I was an adult, I was like, I just don't know. It's just like, why does he have to go so damn fast all the time? You know, slow down.
Why can't he just climb up the side of a mountain slowly?
Slowly,
His best bud,
and let
Knuckles.
me control each individual appendage. You know. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, it's got some cool like bouncy, fun like music tracks to it. You know, some heavy hitters. But honestly, I think I've been too shiver me timber scared of the Sonic fan base to get near it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Sonic is a real horror game. I think it's an IRL real horror game.
Terrifying.
Yeah, I don't want to get too involved. I played that fan made indie Sonic game where it's like there's like a video recording. You like go inside of Sonic's eye and he's like on a couch and like moves his hand closer. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you remember that? Do you know what I'm talking about? High functioning medium.
I don't know that particular. There was some.
This was like
fan made thing I got played, but it wasn't very like artsy or experimental. It was very like straightforward. So
no,
probably
this was like
something
12
different.
years ago. This was straight up like a horror game where it's like, it's the most it's super disturbing. Like Sonic tries to sexually assault you. It's in like first person. And it's really weird.
Jesus.
It's really freaky, dude. I did play that one because it was like, it's dude. I gotta look up what that's called, man. You guys just ignore me.
Gotta send people their way. The next one was Dune Awakening, and I've been waiting for this for a bit because it's a Dune MMO, but they announced that it's gonna be like an alternate timeline that Paul envisions where he was never born. It's like the good ending, like he was never born. His father lives. The Fremen are all exterminated. No Muad'Dib. And it's like your story in that world, I guess. So I'm interested. I think it looks cool. The trailer was pretty cool. They had me at Dune MMO, to be honest. So
you're an MMO. I'm not. Oh yeah, you like World of Warcraft. I'm not a big MMO guy, and I'm not really even a big fan of Dune. So.
Boo.
I thought Dune 2 made for some cool like 30-second edits though.
That's funny.
Yeah, this is the one I saw on like the leaderboard and was kind of like, okay.
No, yeah.
All right.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I think Dune in general is only enjoyable if you're deliberately misunderstanding it. That's my take.
I think most people would probably agree with you.
I think Paul
Ignorance
Atreides is the hero of the story. And I think any other take, you're wrong.
Well, there you go. Paul
but
isn't
I'm
even
not
in this one, so.
I'm not a. Well, there he is, right there. That's him.
Well, no, it's an alternate timeline.
No, I know. I saw the trailer.
Sorry.
By the way, the name of the game is Sonic Dreams Collection.
Sonic Dreams Collection. Okay.
It's a psychological horror game.
Okay.
I recommend you play it.
Dude, I'm gonna find that. That sounds so violating to my childhood image of him. I think I need to.
It's actually pretty gross.
This was the trailer that I was talking about that was like way too much. I couldn't comprehend anything that was happening. It was just like the cuts were like way too fast. Just like a tenth of a second too fast.
Like every shot looks like they dropped the camera on the ground by accident.
It's like fucked. Yeah, I don't know. And then it's really
that being
funny.
said, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean it does. It does look cool. But like the funniest thing is like, okay, so you see the crazy shit that's going on. This is for an RTS game that looks like this.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Did y'all see that like I think it's an Xbox Cyberpunk narrative game or something that just came out last week?
No,
it's like nobody wants to die or something like that.
No, I haven't seen that.
And all the comments, it's just this beautiful noir trailer, like people driving around in hover cars and stuff, and people like, this looks incredible. And they're like, it's for like an isometric RTS, right?
Damn.
People are like, please don't say that. Please don't say that.
Yeah. Yeah, this felt like classic marketing to me. The other thing I felt bad about too was this guy was explaining the game, and he explained it like
Oh yeah, we're gonna simplify RTS games.
yeah, he explained it like we want to
no.
make the Hearthstone or the World of Warcraft of RTS games. Like it's simple and you can understand it.
Get
And
that SEO in there.
it was like he was. I wrote in my notes that it was like he was explaining it to a board to pitch why they should make the game, not like talking to players and say why you should play the game. It was very robotic. I felt.
Yeah.
I need you to
bad.
clip what you just said and use it forever because that is what they do all the time.
Yeah, that's
They're
true.
it's always they just close their eyes and imagine not that the audience is naked, but they're all wearing suits for some reason. I don't know.
I do remember thinking it was really funny because knowing RTS players, like my brother is huge RTS player, it's all he plays. The last thing they want to fucking hear is this is the simplified RTS game.
Yeah. Yep.
Right.
Well, because it's not. They're not marketing to them. They're trying to market to a new audience. You know.
The new audiences, I just can't imagine they're super interested in getting into RTSs.
Damn, I've been waiting finally to get into RTSs. This is the game that'll do it for me.
Right.
And if they were, they're just gonna play like Civ 7 or Hearts of Iron or something.
Yeah, this was just like the finals is getting updated. I haven't played this game, so I don't fucking know anything.
To be honest with you, I wouldn't spend a ton of time playing this game just because I don't typically do it for multiplayer, but that is not a bad game to
Really?
just burn a couple hours on. It's actually pretty fun.
I was watching it and I was thinking like, should I check it out? Because I even thought that when they revealed the game that I thought it kind of looked interesting. So maybe I'll give it a try now.
Yeah, I wouldn't go in with like crazy high expectations or anything, but
Yeah.
it's definitely like above average.
Okay.
Fun little thing to spend some hours on.
And then we got.
See if you can see those sneaks.
Oh, is this where he shows it?
I don't remember. I don't remember where it is that it happens. But at some point, if you can get an eye on Jeff Keighley's
Okay.
shoes, I'm probably overhyping it. I just thought it was really funny what he chose to wear.
Yeah, Sam Lake came out. He announced that they are releasing physical editions of Alan Wake 2 now.
No shit.
Yeah, so
Wow.
those will be on pre-order tomorrow, which is pretty cool. And then,
Will you be
really
getting
cool.
one?
oh yeah, faux show. And then Night Springs, the Alan Wake 2 DLC, will be out tomorrow as well. It looks very cool. You're gonna play 3 different characters. One of them is Jesse Faden from Control. And
Yeah, the other one looks like the guy from Quantum Break.
yeah, it is Sean Ashmore, but it's his,
Breaker.
yeah, it's his character from Alan Wake 2. Not Quantum Break. They don't own that.
Definitely not Quantum Breaker.
Yeah.
No relation. No.
Nothing. Not at all.
If you say otherwise.
But yeah, I mean, I'm super excited to dive into this. I might even like stream this tomorrow or something. I can't imagine
that'd be a good idea.
it's that long.
What? We get to play as her?
Yeah, it's
Love
her, Sean Ashmore, and Jesse Faden.
Huh. Okay.
And they each of them seem to have like their own distinct like universe style as well.
Nice.
Hers is very Control. Hers is like blown out matte colors. Yeah.
Like she didn't feel the need to change. She's just like, I'm going straight from work to kick some ass.
Yeah. Yeah. That
Nice.
was probably my highlight thus
For
far.
sure.
New world expansion. Nobody cares. The game's dead. Give it up already, guys. Honkai Star Rail. Oh, sorry, I
More weeb
forgot.
shit.
Wait, sorry, I forgot. Evan plays this game, right? You're
Oh,
a big fan.
Star
of-
Rail?
Yeah, you're a big fan of the Hoyoverse games, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm always grinding on. I'm trying to think of it. Is Star Rail the name of the? That's the name
It's
of the
called
game,
Honkai
right?
Star Rail, dude.
I'm always grinding on Honkai Star Rail.
Yeah.
I do remember thinking it was really funny that like in the midst of all of the over sexualization debates in this Heart of the Stellar Blade thing, I saw like an ad for Honkai Star Rail, and it was just the most shameless, unabashed sexualization of their characters, and I was like, but apparently they can get away with it.
Yeah, that's fine. It's not a big deal.
It was a mobile game, right? You play that on your phone.
You guys have phones, right?
Yeah, I'm pretending that.
All you
I'm
guys have
pretending
phones,
that
right?
I don't. I have to pretend that I don't know how it's played because I'm actually grinding. I'm gonna play right after the show.
Yeah, you're too big of a
Dude.
So
fan.
I'm trying. Yeah, I'm trying to put on the guys that I don't
Way
know
too
anything about.
convenient.
What's a star rail?
It's the almost the same thing as a Honkai.
That's a Persona game, right?
Yeah. It's one of the spin-offs. Pimmy Q
Persona's
says,
universe.
Pimmy Q says, I know Monster Hunter Wilds was shown, though I missed it. I want to try Killer Bean for the memes. I'm interested in Tides of Tomorrow because I like Road 96. I don't know if we've made it to Tides of Tomorrow yet, but yeah, the Killer Bean game actually looked pretty good.
Ooh. There's something coming from the Road 96 developer. Cool.
I guess so.
That was pretty good.
I don't know what this is. I think this was the last game I looked at, Dark and Darker, I think it's called. I thought it was VR at first, I'm not going to lie. So it looks like it's not VR from this
Apparently,
footage.
you do a lot of vanquishing.
I like vanquishing. I've been known to vanquish once or
You like
twice.
sliding on your
Oblivion.
knees and shooting over cover?
Oh yeah. That's kind of
Classic Kino game.
That's kind of cool. They got cool powers.
Dungeon crawler.
Druid powers. Oh, it's free. That doesn't sound very good.
I was just about to say it's tempting me more than it should be, and then it was like, and here's why it looks good.
Yeah. Oh, it's free.
There are things to come that you don't know about yet.
Oh wait, rewind it. There's those shoes.
Oh wait, we missed the shoes.
Dim kicks.
Oh, right there. Got a little.
Those are Converse, by the way. I'm
Oh,
pretty
is
sure
that
those
what
are
they are?
Converse. I don't know if they're actually like the brand Converse, but they're like canvas shoes with like red, red spot, that red spot in the side part. I don't know. That just looks like something I would have worn when I was 17 and I was like dyeing my hair black and wearing nail polish.
He's got some Chuck E. T's on, dude.
Yeah, he's got on those. He's wearing those crawling in my skins right now.
You gonna hate on his Chuck E. T's, bro?
Guys, he's just like one of us.
Those high tops.
Bloody inseam Chuck Taylors on just like everybody else does.
You got those high tops on.
Just your average Joe. And now we're
Hanging out with Kojima.
into uncharted territory. Evan, you were watching, right? I think.
I was passively watching, but I
Okay.
didn't see anything that like interested me.
Yeah, I don't really know.
Is it just me, or is this like an extremely heavily slanted Japanese show? Not that's bad. I just think it's interesting.
I think that's just like the game market right now. Like
Really?
it feels like ever since like Ghost of Tsushima came out, like that's been
Mm-hmm.
even the year that Ghost of Tsushima was revealed, it felt like there was just a shit ton of.
Well, yeah, it's that, and then there's also the like 14 Western developers that just got fucking shut down.
That's true. There's no Western developers anymore. It's
I
only
mean,
Japan.
Yeah, all the Western developers are working on like Call of Duty 6.
That's true. They got to send
Jeff
to the
had to tear up a
mines.
lot of his Rolodex before this. He's like, oh shit, this is the only ones I got left.
Okay, I don't know what that game was. Kind of looked cool, I guess.
God bless. If I see one more like cell shaded looking,
That's what I've been saying this whole time, man.
like good for them, but like God bless it blends
Neon.
together.
Neon.
This somehow looks so much like every other game we've seen. The grass texture, I swear that's the same grass.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like the Arcane TV show. If you got to play it like an Immortals Phoenix Rising game or something.
Damn.
I fucking hate this, man.
Yeah.
Take me back to when fucking everything was video gaming was like so edgy that all you could think was how bad it was.
Give me,
Like the green.
give me
Xbox
bloom and
screen.
washed out grays.
Yeah, give me way too much bloom to where I can't see over the top like lens flare.
This is the sequel to Hyper Light Drifter. That's why. Yeah.
I
this
need
is
the
Hyper
piss
Light
filter
Breaker.
back.
Yeah, give me the piss filter. Stat. Oh,
I need the piss filter.
corgis. I think this is like a party game that's already out. This animal
Let's say, if you want to
party animals.
scrub ahead, feel free.
Yeah. Oh,
Not sure how much my tolerance can handle.
Tim Robinson.
that
Yeah,
guy
dude,
with the faces.
this clip goes on for so long. by
Oh,
the
this
way.
is the ARG for Skate. They started this earlier in the week. I looked it up a little bit. They dropped like a weird site for that corporation. Yeah, they were doing like a little weird ARG. I don't know. I'm into this, man. I'm into Skate 4. Give
It's a
me
cool
it.
concept.
Give me all of it now.
We getting that Isaac Clarke outfit or what?
Nah. It's too late, man.
Gotta let me grind with James Sunderland.
Console
It's
play
now or
testing
never.
coming this
It's now
fall.
or never on the Silent Hill crossover.
Sloppy Joe says, so Kingdom Hearts 4 was shown, right? I don't fucking know, man. We'll see.
I don't think so. I think that's cap, as the kids say.
It's Cap. Pal World.
I think that's hat.
New
Oh, my
Pal
lord.
World Island. My girlfriend has like 100 hours in this game.
Hell yeah.
Literally 100 hours. It's insane. She plays
I
it so much.
just saw Mother Base.
Valorant. Skip that.
Oh yeah, this Valorant section goes on for fucking ever too. This is like the entire end of the show is just Valorant.
Every time I press the forward key, it's like $25,000.
It's really
Every time.
funny.
25,000, 25,000, 25,000, 25,000.
There's more Valorant though. That wasn't it.
I don't think this is gaming. What is this? Oh, it's more Valorant. 25,000, 25,000, 25,000.
I tried to tell you.
25,000, 25,000.
Ching.
It's pretty fun.
That's actually what I was
Dash
talking about
Bass,
right
what's
before
up?
we went on stream, where I was like, "Wow!"
Shouts out Dash
they-
Bash.
I was confused. I was like, "They really paid just to have like a MLG montage of their game here."
Oh Lord.
Oh yeah, it's Yang in the audience. He's gonna be in
He's looking jacked. He's looking buff.
Inside Out too. Very
Yeah.
great. He's just
That's
Even
the
though-
character I was saying about. That he's
even though
playing.
everybody hated it, he's getting more opportunities. It's good for him.
It's weird. The entertainment industry's never worked like that before.
I know. It just started last year, I think. They announced that.
Yeah.
Man, this was really front loaded, huh? Holy shit. It's like you didn't even need to watch the last 30 minutes. This is fucking dog shit.
About to say, you can probably crack out the mouse and scrub hard to go. I feel like we got mountains to climb to get over this stuff.
What is this?
Yeah, this ad goes on for a while too.
Okay, this looks like a video game, right? I think this is a video game. So there's
This is
guns. You like guns?
Monster Hunter?
Berserk with guns.
This is Monster Hunter though.
Oh, is this Monster Hunter? Damn.
Yeah.
Fuck, they got me again. It's
Dude,
bastard.
Monster Hunter, that's just cruel, dude. It looks so amazing. You're like, when do I get to do that part, though?
Yeah.
I don't want to follow his footsteps and
that's
lose
so
him and
real.
Yeah.
over and over again.
They're always showing the footage where it's like you don't get to do that. It's like when you see those. It's like when you see those players like on Cyberpunk 2077, where they're like jumping off of walls and like doing 3 execution animations. It's like, yeah, but that's not how it actually plays. Like
Yeah.
90% of the time, though.
This kind of looks cool.
Something to
Phantom,
look forward to.
Phantom Blade Zero.
More Japanese tinge.
Yeah, there's the Japanese influence. S game. I'm gonna predict that this is like a Sekiro, like Souls-like
Uh-huh.
kind of thing.
Yep, yep, yep.
Yeah, there was a punish. Yeah, I know what this is.
Where's the grappling hook? Show me the grappling hook.
It's my last thing on the bingo.
Or like a wing hang glider or some other,
Yeah, this is
something from that era.
another Souls-like. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen in the next like 3 years. There's gonna be fatigue.
The Soul.
I'll tell you
Souls
what,
games
though,
are
I'm
the
surprised
only
at how
games-
many sit in the middle.
Yeah,
Like you never really hear about them. No one's like, dude, it's like the people who play these games will play them regardless, and it's really only that. I guess it's just enough of a market share because I never see someone going around like, bro, did you play? Neo's not a good example because that's got a pretty good reputation, but
Yeah.
like, I don't know, like Lo Wong or something like that.
yeah.
You don't even hear like an
convinced-
opinion about it,
Yeah.
whether it's good or bad. It's just sort of like I played it, but I I always play these games.
At this
I
point,
have to.
I'm convinced that these Souls games only do as well as they do because they're your only option for modern games with like a realistic, good looking art style and like a serious like plot.
Maybe, yeah. I think it definitely fills a lot of the void for like that narrative delivery style too. That was kind of left in the past.
Your options, you can take the blue pill of the of the quirky hero shooter with the Fortnite graphics, or you can take the red pill of the punishingly like repetitively difficult fucking Souls like game with like actually good graphics and a decent story.
Yeah. Well, I think that was it. I'm seeing a mustachioed man on the screen that isn't Jeff Keighley, so I'm going to assume that that's over. So,
That was it.
I mean, wrap up thoughts. What do you think? Why don't you go first? Medium.
Oh God, what did we see? Well, to be honest with you, Slitterhead wasn't exactly what I thought it was going to be. I thought that was going to be a little bit more. I don't know if Silent Hilly's a stupid thing to say because it's like, oh, that's what they made, so they got to do that forever. I was thinking it'd be a little bit more, I don't know, like a different energy or something versus sort of like a adversarial Stellar Blade looking thing.
Yeah.
That was a little bit of a surprise. I'm not sure if I'm super into that, but I think I'll still swing it because I was a big fan of stuff like Ghostwire Tokyo and things like that. Just being in that culture and that vibe is going to be fun anyway, I think.
Yeah.
Obviously, Alan Wake 2 is probably the most important thing. Whatever, was it Night Springs?
Yes.
I think that goes without saying that's probably the biggest and most interesting thing just by the nature of what it is. I mean, it could play like crap and we'd still want to know, like, what's the, what are the tidbits? I need to know them. Hold me over until, 7 months from now or whatever, until y'all do it to me again.
Yeah. Okay. So, Slitterhead, slightly disappointing-ish. And Alan Wake 2, big highlight.
Big highlight.
What about you, Evan?
I think Slitterhead looks really interesting and cool. I mean, it's not exactly the kind of game I would like normally want to play, but it's not really the kind of game I wouldn't want to play. The world, the design looks super fascinating. I just hope that the story and the writing is as unique as the.
Oh, Mike's cutting out.
Let me fix that.
Nope.
I think it's okay. I think it's cool that they're doing Alan Wake physical copies. I know a lot of people were really wanting that. I haven't played Alan Wake 2 yet, but I was a huge fan of Alan Wake 1 and American Nightmare. Obviously, Delta Force looks like the kind of, I don't remember what I called it earlier, military sim slop or something like that. That looks like the exact kind of game that I would probably enjoy. Sparking Zero, Space Marine 2 looks sick, and
Oh, yeah.
I think really the real star of the show here was Lego Horizon Zero Dawn. I think that's going to make the biggest waves.
Change the gaming industry, really.
Yeah, because that's
No
an
cap.
immature. That's an immature game. Both games were. They were made for adults. So obviously, taking that IP that really only adults are familiar with, and then retrofitting it for a child audience is going to make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
There's a child in all of us, so really it is for everyone. So
that's true. Deep down.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Lego Space Marine. That's
Lego Space Marine. I did have like a thing I forgot to say, but I wrote down like, has there been a Lego game made as an adaptation of another game yet? Is that the first one?
I think that's the first one. There was gonna be a Halo one, but it got canceled.
I wonder why.
Well, that one probably would have done better than Horizon Zero Dawn. Bigger audience.
Yeah. Well, so we're just making Lego games of other games, so that's cool. Yeah, I think my highlights were definitely like Civ 7, Space Marine 2, Slitterhead-ish, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and yeah, Alan Wake. I think those are my big ones. Obviously, Alan Wake's the biggest, like you said. Physical editions. I'm glad that they, I don't mind that too much if they are like, well, we can't do a physical edition now and we're going to make the game cheaper on your end. I kind of defended that when they decided to do that whole thing, because I felt like at least the consumer's getting something out of it. But if the game is successful enough, then make a physical edition down the line. I think that's
a good formula if people will follow it.
Yeah. I think that's probably. I think that's better than nothing, and it's better than buying $70 games that are digital only that don't get physical editions and are very successful.
If Pimmy is right and Limited Run Games is doing it, then that's pretty cool, because that's a good.
You got to be
You don't like
kidding
them?
me. I mean,
Is there something wrong with them?
I only became hip to this recently, like in the past few months, but holy shit, yeah.
I don't know anything about Limited Run Games except that they're a company that does physical copy. I've never bought one. I don't know anything about the company, but I thought it was interesting that, they could work with an independent business in the private sector. But if the company sucks, then I might be way off base.
They're pretty
No, I
fucked.
thought you were doing a bit because you've been doing so many good ones so far. I was like, oh, he's got me. There's
No,
not a hint in his eyes. Yeah, but yeah, they've got a
just
little
don't
bit of
know
a
anything
reputation
about it.
for
Yeah.
hoarding,
I just
you
don't.
know.
No, I mean that's the
inflating
problem.
things
I
artificially.
just lie too much. No, I don't know anything about Limited Run Games. I'm super unfamiliar. I just surmise that Limited Run Games is probably an independent business in the private sector that does physical copies. What do I need to be up to date on? Why do they suck?
I mean, it's kind of a deep topic, but I mean, they the biggest thing is that they hoard games, or I mean, there's been evidence of them inflating the prices of games and then selling them themselves later, keeping copies or giving copies to people and selling them later. I don't know, it's fucked. But there's a bunch of other shit that they do too, just with the actual value of what you're paying for and everything. But Pimmy says that they might just be doing the collector's edition. Not sure if they're doing the normal physical. That's a bummer. But yeah.
Is that in regards to Alan Wake 2?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about? Just like when all the DLC comes out, just release it all at once?
Yeah, I think so.
That's unfortunate because it actually would be a pretty good idea. I mean, having a company that specializes in physical copies like that is actually a really good idea. And then being able to work with game developers, merging those two private markets makes a lot of sense. So it's unfortunate that company has already garnered themselves such a negative reputation.
Yeah, there's a lot of people deep in that collecting scene know way more than I do, and
Yeah,
seem
I'm not a
to.
collector at all, so I don't.
They have a pretty bad name these days. But
Damn.
But I think, I mean, obviously, regardless, Alan Wake 2 is still pretty interesting, obviously, because of the DLC and dropping tomorrow. I mean, what the fuck? I don't know. That's just, honestly, I feel like Remedy fans eating good. We're like the Monster Hunter,
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's pretty cool. That's dropping tomorrow. Space Marine, obviously seeing more of that was really cool. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. This year is really cool. And Civ 7 next year. Yeah, there was a bunch of good shit. I felt like it was really front loaded though. Holy shit. There was at least pretty decent stuff there at the beginning, and then the back end was just God.
A lot of Valorant.
Make it stop. Yeah, a lot of Valorant. A lot of Dash Pass.
Maybe the end of the show is cheaper, and that's why they just gave a bunch of it to Valorant.
That's probably correct. I would imagine that's got to be true.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking
That's
that.
a good thought. Are there any omissions that y'all were surprised weren't there? Or maybe it's something you wished had been there that wasn't?
It's a good question.
Is Microsoft doing a conference soon?
I don't.
I think there's one on the 9th. Yeah, a showcase on the 9th.
That's what I'm
pretty
thinking about. Well, I think that's why we didn't see any big games, because I'm pretty sure we're going to see a huge swath of big games get announced at the Microsoft conference, because I'm expecting to see a lot of stuff there. I'm expecting to see a Perfect Dark news on the remake they're doing for Perfect Dark. I'm expecting to see more Halo. I think we're going to see most of our big stuff there.
Yeah, I didn't really have any absences that I felt, but I feel like that's mostly because at this point, now this time of the year is just this long drawn out E3 where everything's getting there's a showcase this month and there's a showcase the next month, so it's almost It because Sony just had their thing, and there was something else before that, I think, and the Silent Hill thing, and like it feels like everything's getting revealed eventually. You know, I don't really think I missed anything. Did you miss anything, Medium?
The only thing, because I had my list of things that I wanted to get done as far as projects this year were a lot of things that were getting sequels this year. I just thought that'd make algorithmic sense and give me an excuse to go back.
Yeah.
So I had a list. Kingdom Come Deliverance, it was not on my bingo card that would be getting prime time, well received. I mean, as much as you see that get a good reception, it's kind of a obscure game still.
Yeah.
So that was cool. The only thing, and this is kind of a long shot anyway, but Wolf Among Us 2. I thought would have been kind of cool to see something of.
Yeah.
Since it's still technically real, supposedly.
I forgot about that too.
And they told me it's not going to be at Summer Games Fest, and by they I mean just somebody. So I was like, somebody has a reason to think this for some reason, which makes me sad. But
yeah,
hope spring eternal.
Damn. Interesting. Yeah. Well, I do want to say thank you for coming on the show when we had an episode where we had to just fucking crush through the Summer Games Fest really fast. We appreciate it. You're a champ. Yeah, what can people look forward to from you?
Yeah. Speaking of cutesy little indie games that aren't so cute, I'm doing a lot of Little Nightmares stuff recently.
Okay.
That's been fun to kind of discover for the first time. I was not expecting to like that as much as I do. So that'll be some big chunky thing. Space Marine, the first Space Marine, I'll get into that eventually here in a little bit.
Hell
That's
yeah.
on my list. Farther towards the end of the year, just because it's coming out later. But oh, I know what I was missing here. I don't know why it makes sense. It'd be at the Xbox showcase. If it was anything but Stalker 2.
Oh yes,
I'm sure that's going to be an Xbox thing that I think about. That makes sense.
That's
But
true. That's a good point.
yeah, I was like, So yeah, Stalker. Probably go through the Stalkers. Probably do some smaller stuff like Greedfall and Tormented Souls and just some cool shit from years past I haven't run into much that are getting their sequels.
That's pretty cool.
Get the word out.
Okay.
So yeah, a lot of little weird stuff, obscure things.
Hell yeah. And you had a video out today, didn't you?
Yeah, and the only reason I say yes, that I had it scheduled for so long ahead of time. I was like, did I?
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So go check that out. High Functioning Medium on YouTube. You have a podcast as well, don't you?
Do. It's the Quad Damage podcast. I do it with a gentleman named Hyperverse and Deadforge, and it's billed as like a boomer shooter, first person shooter centric thing, which it tends to be. But I mean, we'll get freaky with.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, nice.
There it is.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that usually goes over pretty well. People are like, Quake! And I'm like, oh my God. But yeah, sometimes we'll get freaky and do Prey or, Thief or something like that. Get weird with some MSIMs and the occasional RPG or whatever. But yeah, just laid back, relaxing, good stuff to listen to when you're doing something you don't want to do and have something to listen to.
Hell yeah. We all make content like that.
Yeah. That's facts.
Evan, what do you got coming out?
I released a video last night. It's a video. I talked about this on the cast before. It's a video about that indie game called Pools. Normally, I don't talk about newer games or indie games, although I want to whenever they're interesting. It's less a review and more like a playthrough / analysis. But it's pretty interesting little abstract horror game. There's no enemies, there's no jump scares or anything like that. It's purely atmospheric, all based in like the liminal space, analog horror, backrooms stuff. Pretty interesting. And then next Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard, I'll release my retrospective analysis on Killzone for the PS2, the original Killzone. So you can look forward to that.
Hell yeah.
Cool. Oh, can I just shout out Evan real quick? I was rifling through, and I know I've yet to actually sit down for real, but I'm just hats off for doing the entire Jedi Knight.
Oh yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah.
Those are like Dark Forces 2 and Mysteries of the Sith are like the games that like made me, transitioned me into like real games as opposed to playing like Math Blaster and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, man, I love those games. I gave a lengthy. I think I have the longest video, like retrospective on Mysteries of the Sith on the site because it's like over an hour.
Hell
So,
yeah.
yeah,
Can't get
no,
enough of that one.
Yeah, I love those games.
Yeah, right on, man.
And then as far as my stuff goes, working on MGS2 right now. It'll be done when it's done kind of deal. And then after that, I have an indie games video that's coming out. I've interviewed a few indie developers and played a bunch of indie games that's sort of going into this big thing about why you need to play more indie games. So look forward to that. And next week, Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as always, you can watch us talk here on TGG. So make sure to keep an eye out for that.
Play more indie games, and they're not all soft art pieces.
Not all, some.